From Klein Memorial Stadium, it's playoff football on the Legacy Sports Network, brought to you in part by Fabenco, the safety gate company. Tonight, it's the Klein Collins Tigers hosting the Woodlands Highlanders on our Friday night Spotlight game. And hello, everyone. I'm Brett Dolan with Ken Moore. Great to have you with us tonight. Should be a fun game, Ken. A rematch of last year's first-round playoff contest, a 42-31 game won by the Woodlands. If that's any indication of what we'll have tonight, we could be in for a wild one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's deja vu all over again between these two ball clubs. But tonight, Klein Collins will have the Woodlands on their home turf here at Klein Memorial Stadium. They lost last season 42-31 in a shootout, but we look for that same type of high-scoring atmosphere here once again this evening.
Well, the Woodlands, they've scored almost 200 points here in their last 4 games, and it's a sophomore who's leading the offensive charge.
Yeah, absolutely. They have a talented tailback in Patrick Carr, over 1,400 yards on the season. The talented sophomore, he can do it inside and out, but you talk about both sides of the ball for this team. Both defenses, real similar, giving up 26 points per game. Both offenses, real similar, scoring nearly 40 points per game. So it should be really tight here tonight.
Yeah, as far as Klein Collins is concerned, they've had a couple of rotating quarterbacks with some health concerns, but they're back and healthy tonight.
Yeah, Blake Jackson will be back under controls. He was the starter at the beginning of the year, missed a few games due to injury, but now he's back in the starting lineup, hoping to lead his team to a playoff victory here tonight.
All right, let's send it to Jay Darneal with a further preview of tonight's game.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, going back to that quarterback situation there, the rotating quarterbacks, Josh Pearson, JP, who filled in for Blake Jackson, he will actually be out once again this week. And he, of course, not playing quarterback, but he's a great receiver too and a running back, so they're going to miss that athlete on the field there. I had a chance to speak with Coach Schmidt and getting loud here. I had a chance to talk to Coach Schmidt of the Highlanders, as well as Coach Drew Sabota of the Klein Collins Tigers, and here's those interviews right here.
It's playoff time again in the state of Texas, and it all kicks off this weekend in the bi-district round. We have one of the best first-round matchups in the entire state here on LSN as 14-5A district champion Woodlands Highlanders takes on the 13-5A runner-up Klein Collins Tigers. These two teams battled in the first round last year as well, and here's Klein Collins head coach Drew Sabota's take on the rematch.
I hadn't played him in a while, and having the opportunity, I think everybody's excited about having the opportunity to play somebody again that you didn't beat the year before, and that's kind of like when the 2 games that we lost in the regular season in 2011 with Klein Oak and Decaney, we were able to play them again the next year.
If the Highlanders want to move on to the second round once again, their star newcomer, sophomore running back Patrick Carr, will no doubt play a big part of the game plan.
Patrick has done a great job, this whole football season with the role that's been placed on him, as a sophomore. And he's gotten better. He's matured. He's figured things out, and I think he's playing about as well as he can right now. So, going into our playoff game, I think he's going to handle that extremely well. I have no reason to believe that he won't rise to the occasion like he has in the last few games of the season.
Although Woodlands won their district, they're going to have to travel to Klein Memorial Stadium, and Coach Mark Schmidt knows his team will need the full support of what has become known as the Highlander Nation.
We have great community support here, and our fans do travel well, and obviously that's a big momentum deal for our kids to see the support that we get no matter where we go, and we expect to have a good crowd over at Klein Memorial on Friday night, and our kids will be excited to see it.
Coach Sabota is expecting big crowds as well, and he fully understands how lucky he is to be playing at home where he can use it to his team's advantage.
It's just the way that it works. We're lucky to have them come to Klein Memorial with the coin flip. It's as simple as that. It's pure chance, and we won that flip, so they're going to come down here and play us in our own backyard, and so that's always good anytime you play at home and just the environment that you're used to. We play most of our games at Klein Memorial Stadium every year, and whether we're on the home or away side is really irrelevant, but it'll be a great environment at Klein Memorial, Friday night for that game, a huge crowd, whatever that stadium holds, and then some, so.
Klein Collins has lost a lot of players due to injuries this season, but there's still a lot of leaders left on this team, including senior quarterback Blake Jackson, who missed a few weeks himself late in the year. but he's now back for what Tiger fans hope is a deep postseason run.
Yeah, senior leadership, Blake at quarterback, and JP before him stepped in. Brandon Edmonds is a fantastic leader on the offense. Those guys are just tried and true. A guy like Brandon, and this Seth Scott, who hadn't been able to play this year physically, but his leadership is undeniable.
However, Woodlands have a postseason plan of their own, and here are Coach Mark Schmidt's keys to a first-round victory over Klein Collins.
It's hard to say mistake-free because there's no game that's mistake-free, but we've got to limit our mistakes. Ball security will be a huge deal for us. Field position will be a big part of the game. And I think there's, if you look at stats and things like that, their offense is a high-powered offense. Our offense has been playing really well lately. Considering you have two pretty powerful offenses, I think that the team that plays the best defense may have the advantage.
This should be another terrific Texas high school playoff game that comes down to the very end here on the Legacy Sports Network.
All right, thank you, Jake. Kickoff is coming up next. It's the Woodlands and Klein Collins right here on the Legacy Sports Network.
My time is valuable. I can't afford to wait an hour for an average car wash. That's why I'm sold on Bubbles. The folks at Bubbles know customer service. They're courteous and professional, and no one has ever done a better job at hand washing my car. If your time is valuable, you'll love Bubbles.
We're about ready for football tonight. Klein Collins will receive in a short pooch kick, a fair catch, grabbed at the 33, and that's where we will begin.
Well, a great matchup out here tonight, Brett, as we mentioned in the pregame, a rematch of last year's opening round matchup. Klein Collins, they will have the football first. Quarterback Blake Jackson will be under control. His wide receivers, Jordan Thomas, Green, Kozar, running back Trey Wright. Trey White, number 21, is the big guy to look at offensively for Klein Collins.
All right, first possession of the night for the Tigers. And it'll be the quarterback Blake Jackson purging the line, moving it out near the 40. And that's how this one begins.
Now we'll take a look at this Woodland Highlander defensive front. Defensive end, Clayton Lau, Jackson and Miller. 3-4 defensive alignment, Tanner Birdsong, one of the strong inside linebackers in the secondary. Tyler Patrick and Paul Perry, those are the guys to watch.
It's a 2nd and 5 play, and it'll be a keeper again for Jackson up near midfield. He's stuck right around the 50. Picks up 15 yards on the play, and Colby Brown, the corner, was up there to make the tackle, but not before a big gainer.
Yeah, Jackson on the season rushing the football, 50 carries, 164 yards, only averaging about 3 yards a pop, but a big gainer there, picks up a first down near midfield.
Yeah, he started the 9th game against Klein. He missed more than a month. He was hurt earlier this year against Westfield, but back and healthy and picks up the first down of the game. Now he'll involve Trey White, trying to pick a hole into Woodlands territory. Picked up 4 on the play. And Trey White, the junior, he'll get the bulk of the carries in the backfield for Klein Collins.
Yeah, they'll do a lot of things with Trey White tonight. You'll see him flank outside as an outside receiver. He'll play in the slot. He'll play a lot of H-back as well. They like to move him around and get him in open space.
Brandon Barnett, the linebacker, made the tackle after a gain of 4, so it's 2nd and 6 for the Tigers on the move, and now our first penalty here tonight.
And, of course, Klein Collins, they won the coin flip, and that's why we're at Klein Memorial tonight. The Woodlands actually had the better record of the two. But Klein Collins, they won the flip. They get to play it at home in front of a strong home crowd here this evening.
Yeah, they will take whatever they can. The Woodlands, well, they've never lost to Klein Collins. The Highlanders 7-0 all time in this head-to-head matchup. And there's a stumble after the quick exchange and not much running room whatsoever. It was Jordan Thomas. He's one of the big wide receivers, Ken, but he'll also carry the football as well.
Yeah, they like to do it. They have multiple threats on offense. A lot of their guys they'll line up in the backfield. They'll line them up at wide receiver. They have a lot of hybrid players. That's what makes them so tough to defend.
Well, 3rd and 11 upcoming for the Tigers. We'll see if Blake Jackson goes to the air. He's an accurate quarterback. He's completed more than 60% of his passes this year, and his dangerous wide receiver is Jordan Thomas, who lines up to the near side. So the Tigers trying to find a big play here, and it's Jackson to the air. His pass is complete. It's short of a first down. The catch was made by Cameron Green, but maybe a couple of yards shy, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, Tyler Patrick coming up to make the play defensively out of the secondary. You see the fake there. Nice strong throw across the middle, but Patrick with real good defense stops him short of the first down. So the first big call of the ball game. We'll see if Klein Collins will go for it here on 4th down.
And they will. A 10-yard gainer, but 4th and 3. Now a quick kick. So Jackson will pooch it. Nobody down there, and this ball will bounce inside the 10. It'll continue inside the 5, and it'll roll down near the 1-yard line. A 37-yard punt and no return. And the Woodlands, well, they'll not have very good field position for their first possession of the game.
Well, very good job there stopping them, but they'll be starting in a hole. And Blaine Gillespie, the quarterback, he'll be handing it off a lot to number 1, Patrick Carr, over 1,400 yards. Houston Brown, one of his big targets on the outside, the senior receiver. You look down at that big front, Tyler Rapp, the center. He'll be controlling the line of scrimmage.
So here come the Highlanders, the 14-5A champions, 7-3 overall, 5-1 in district play, and their quarterback Blaine Gillespie will set up in the end zone. The football was touched at the 5, even though it looked like it was down at the 1. And there is Gillespie with a nice keeper. He faked a Carr. He'll keep it himself. He's across the 35. A 30-yard pickup from Blaine Gillespie on the first play from scrimmage. It was Jeremy Winchester, the safety, who was the last defensive stand. Before that had the potential of maybe going 95 yards.
Well, Gillespie is the second leading rusher on this ball club, 582 yards on the season. He averages over 7 yards a pop. He's been in the end zone 7 times. He nearly made it 8 on the first play from scrimmage for the Highlanders.
Well, a big play indeed for the Woodlands to get them out of the shadow of their end zone. There is Carr, a nifty move for a couple of yards, but he was stuck up immediately and thrown down by Derek Thomas, one of the leading tacklers on this team, after a pickup of 3 yards.
Well, Carr, another one of those talented sophomores out of the Houston area. A lot of people will remember Trey Williams from a few years ago broke out as a sophomore. As we look at the Klein Collins 3-4 defense, Eric Parsons, the nose guard, is one of the big guys up front.
So Gillespie looking to go to the air, heaving a deep ball down the middle, good coverage. And that pass was intended for Houston Brown, but the pass was too tall. Kevin Farmer was there closely on the defense.
Well, that's what the Woodlands had a lot of success with last year in the opening round game against the Tigers. They had 4 touchdown passes in that ball game to propel them to a 42-31 win. They look to go up and over the top early here in this one.
So the Tigers had to punt on their first possession. Now the Woodlands faced with a 3rd and 7. You see the signals coming in as Blaine Gillespie identifies the play he wants to run. 4 wide receivers involved in this formation. He will send Novak in motion, and the pass is complete to McKenna. McKenna has the first down as he dives into Klein Collins territory at the 48. So McKenna involved in a gain of 13, at the 22nd catch of the year.
Yeah, you see they run just a little reverse there. They let the offensive lineman or the defensive lineman come in, set up the little bubble screen to the outside. Big first down for the Highlanders.
As we talked about in the open, Ken, this Woodlands offense, they've been clicking. Their last 4 games, they've scored 198 points. I've been anxious to see if they can carry that into this playoff game tonight. Patrick Carr will work the far sideline, shows off some speed, finally escorted out of bounds right at the 43-yard line, a pickup of 5 on the play.
Yeah, Carr coming around on the jet sweep that time, coming from left to right. Another way to get him involved in the attack. Klein Collins will have to make sure to seal off the edges, not let him get to the outside. As you look at his tremendous numbers on the season, averaging over 9 yards a carry, 16 touchdowns for the talented sophomore.
It's the yards per carry for me. They just jump off the page, almost 9.5. He got 5 on the previous play, so it's 2nd and 5 as Gillespie looks to go up top. He has a wide receiver open. It's McKenna. That's a touchdown for the Woodlands. Sean McKenna with his 3rd score of the season. and he starts the scoring tonight, a pass play of 43 yards.
Well, deja vu all over again for this Klein Collins secondary. They got burned a lot last season, and here on this deep over-the-top pass play, it's another big-time score for the Woodlands.
That is the 12th touchdown pass this year for Blaine Gillespie. Alex Garcia will come on and try and knock through the extra points. And the kick is up, and it is right through. So the Highlanders on the first drive of the night able to get on the board first. It's 7-0. The Woodlands leads on the Legacy Sports Network.
First thing people say after trying Raising Cane's premium, fresh, never-ever frozen chicken fingers, served with extra long crinkle-cut fries, made fresh daily cane sauce, and grilled Texas toast, they say, "Where have you been all my life?" To which our chicken fingers don't reply because, well, chicken fingers can't talk. Raising Cane's, one love.
Well, tonight's game is brought to you in part by First Victoria National Bank. First Victoria National Bank is the oldest independent bank in Texas. Visit one of their 5 locations in the Woodlands and the Spring area and open a totally free checking account and receive a free gift. We expected points right out of the gates. The Woodlands get the first score. The Tigers will get the football back. Another one of those short pooch kicks taken right around the 24-yard line.
Well, that scoring drive, 6 plays, 95 yards. It only took a minute 27 off the clock. Gillespie to Sean McKenna on a deep one over the top. Highlanders on top early, 7-zip, 7:45 to go here in the first.
So Klein Collins back with the football, the 13-5A runner-up, 8-2 on the season, coming off a win last week against Atascocita, 45-17. We'll see what Blake Jackson, the quarterback, can do. Again, a couple of weeks back, it was Josh Pearson who was the quarterback after Jackson started, but he's back and healthy. And he'll begin this drive from the 24-yard line. He'll keep it again himself. Boy, a quick burst through the seam. He's tackled forward. Looked like he was hit at the 32. He was pushed up to the 37-yard line, a gain of 13 on the play.
Yeah, Clayton Lau, the linebacker, went for a ride on this one. You check it out, fakes the inside handoff. Watch Jackson. He's just going to carry the couple of D linemen for an extra 5 yards. It's not quite rodeo time here in Houston yet, but he's making it look like a big play on first down.
There's yards after contact, and then there's a ride after contact. That's 33 rushing yards for Jackson on just 3 carries. See what he wants to do here in this 1st and 10. He'll fake the pitch. He'll go to the air. Tight coverage, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Cameron Green. It was the safety, Tyler Patrick, who was there step for step with Green.
Yeah, Patrick is a stud in the secondary. We saw him make a big stop on the first series. They're breaking up the pass play. As you look at some of the key players for this Klein Collins offense, Brown on the outside, 535 yards receiving. Gillespie, the quarterback, 11 touchdowns on the season. And, of course, Carr, the talented tailback.
The running play runs right into the line, maybe a gain of 1. Not much there. Looked like Jordan Thomas got his second opportunity to rush, but not much into that Woodlands defense, and it'll bring up 3rd and long, maybe 3rd and 9.
And that's a situation that Klein Collins does not want to be in against this Highlander defense. It's 3rd and long situations.
So you see Jackson looking over to the sideline to get a play as he instructs his teammates. He'll have 3 wide receivers involved in this formation. Now he'll send Trey White in motion, so an empty backfield for Jackson. He's going to heave a deep ball into coverage intended for Trey White. It falls incomplete. Double coverage there. Tyler Patrick along with Chase Jordan. And boy, a couple of times tonight, Ken, the Woodlands, they've had outstanding coverage from their safeties and corners.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you want to do, you want to try to get that running game going to try to loosen up the secondary. Right now, they're just dropping back in coverage. Excellent double coverage downfield on that play. Didn't have a chance as they were looking for White.
So Tyler Patrick will drop back and try and return this punt. from Shreve. The ball will bounce at the 30 and quickly take a right turn and go out of bounds at the 29-yard line. And that's where the Woodlands Highlanders will have it back after that kick was not able to be returned. It was a punt of 35 yards.
As we look at the Highlanders, some of the big-time players for these guys, Houston Brown, the senior receiver, he has some playoff experience. 719 yards on the season. Gillespie, the star quarterback, over 1,700 yards through the air, 12 touchdowns. And Patrick Carr, we've talked about him a lot, 18 touchdowns for the sophomore.
After that first drive, Ken, of 95 yards, you know this Tigers defense would like to find a way to get any type of stop here in this second possession.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to go down 2 scores in the first period.
There's Patrick Carr again, big hole as he angles right, up across the 40, right at the sticks. In fact, he probably picked up what he needed, 10 plus, to get that first down. And we talked about him averaging 9.3 a carry, Ken, and he gets 10 as Eric Lacey tackled him.
If you average 9 or 10 a pop, you're going to put your offense in some pretty good situations.
This Highlanders team, indeed, this is their 18th consecutive playoff appearance. They've won their district 4 times in the last 5 years. They scored in their first drive, pick up a first down in the first play of this second sequence. Now we'll see what Blaine Gillespie wants to do from that far hash. He'll just hand it off to Patrick Carr again. Not much there. Met at the handoff, if you will. It was Eric Parsons, the nose guard. It was there to put up the resistance, along with Casey Massey.
Good inside penetration by that front 7 that time. See, they run a little stunt, little inside run blitz. He had nowhere to go.
Well, that's a collision right there with Parsons. He'll get a yard out of that, so 2nd and 9 for the Highlanders. And Gillespie again with time to throw, and he hits an open man. The pass is complete to Houston Brown, a pretty good cutback that got him down to the 37-yard line before Kevin Farmer could wrap him up. Pretty nifty move by Brown after that reception.
Yeah, 23 yards on the pass play. Gillespie to Brown, just a crossing route. Look at the offensive line. Look at that protection. You give a quarterback like Gillespie that type of time in the pocket, he's going to pick you apart.
Boy, he's had that a couple of times as he's gone to the air. Time to throw. And the sticks moved at the 37. That's where the Highlanders will have a 1st and 10. They've had 5 first downs so far here in this first quarter. There's the jet sweep and Carr again. Not much room as he gets to the corner and finally just jumps out of bounds after no gain.
Yeah, good job that time on the far side of the field. Looks like it was 33 for Klein Collins making the stop. That was Eric Lacey forcing him out of bounds.
I'll give him a gain of 1 on the play, so we'll call it 2nd and 9 from the 36.
Dilemma for Klein Collins right now because the Woodlands has everything going. They have the running game going as well as the passing game. They have to make a decision on which one they're going to stop.
It's clicking so far for the Highlanders, and it'll be Gillespie heaving a ball towards McKenna. Again, the ball was knocked away. McKenna, who caught the touchdown in the previous possession, had Isaiah Santos right there on the coverage. And Santos, Ken, an interesting story. His brother David starts at Nebraska, his other brother Ryan at New Mexico, so he's got some pretty good bloodlines, and that's a good play.
Yeah, absolutely. You see just a little corner route outside this time as they tried to get a big pass play, but Santos with excellent coverage knocks it away at the last moment.
Again, step for step, so it'll be 3rd and 9 for the Highlanders as we near the 5-minute mark here in our first quarter of this first-round playoff matchup. And Gillespie with a design keeper trying to get inside the 30, and he does. He has the first down. He's going to have more. He'll have a touchdown. 37 yards for Blaine Gillespie when it looked like he was stopped on the sidelines, and the Highlanders celebrate 2 drives and 2 touchdowns.
Well, he caught Klein Collins in man-to-man coverage, and they sent a linebacker on an inside blitz. Once he got past those 2 defenders at the 30, there was no one down that far sideline. He outraces Jeremy Winchester to the pylon for 6.
And the Woodlands fans here tonight celebrate. Now Garcia will come on and attempt his 2nd point after touchdown already tonight. This Woodlands team last week, they had 53 points. They did so against Conroe Oak Ridge, trying for their 14th here in this playoff matchup here tonight. Clean placement, high kick, and it is right through. So the Woodlands, a good beginning for the Highlanders. An early 14-0 lead right here on the Legacy Sports Network.
Hi, welcome to Raising Cane's. You know, Cane's is all about one love. It's chicken fingers that are always fresh, never ever frozen. A friendly crew, a fun atmosphere, and a perfect chicken finger meal every time. That is one love. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
Game is brought to you by Fabenco, the Safety Gate Company. And in part by Michael J. Morris, DDS. Comfort, quality, and confidence. That's Michael J. Morris, DDS in Spring. Visit him on the web at michaelmorrisdds.com. Gerald and Morgan Burke, your hometown lawyers.
Well, a gorgeous night for football.
And by Lodge Lumber, quality forestry products.
It was a gorgeous night for lumber as well.
Indeed.
Clear skies, 54 degrees, and it's looking mighty good right now for the Highlanders. They lead at 14-7.
Isaiah Santos will try and return this. He gets a few yards, so the third opportunity already tonight.
That last scoring drive for the Woodlands, 6 plays, 71 yards, took a minute 25 off the clock. Gillespie with a 37-yard touchdown run. Highlanders looking good early on, 14-7.
Well, Ken, a 6-play, 95-yard drive on the opening sequence, 6-play, 71 yards there. So even more important that Klein Collins finds something offensively in this sequence.
Yeah, you want to definitely give your defense a chance to kind of regroup over here on the near sideline. Offense needs to pick up a couple of first downs, try to get some momentum over here on the home field.
Well, Trey White will stand just to the left of Blake Jackson. And the Tigers will try and go to the air. And the pass is complete. That's Thomas. He's loose. Trying to get to the corner. Jordan Thomas inside the 20. There's a late flag as he's tackled at the 15-yard line. Looks like it's Marcus Goodson. I beg your pardon. It's 3 and not 2. But again, there's a flag down at around the 20.
Yeah, maybe a face mask at the end of the play. But what a call. Nice little screen pass. And Marcus Goodson, this is one of the fastest kids on this ball club in this district. And it is going to be a face mask, so that'll move it half the distance to the goal. So an excellent, excellent play for Klein Collins as we look at it here. Just a little simple screen pass, and you get Goodson in the open field. He's one of the leading receivers on this ball club, 21 receptions, 229 yards on the season, and he shows you that tremendous speed as he gets to the corner.
Sure did, 53 yards. Goodson's brother Mike went to A&M, now with the Raiders. So it's 1st and goal from the 7. The Tigers are on the march. And the quarterback Jackson will keep. He'll purge the 5-yard line and keep that pile moving down to around the 3. So a good pickup on 1st and goal, gain of 4.
Very imperative that the Tigers get into the end zone. I don't think field goals are going to be a recipe for success here tonight.
Yeah, you look at Goodson and what he's done receiving this season. He just about had that first touchdown, but he was tackled with his face mask to keep him out of the end zone. So it's 2nd and goal from the 3. Tigers on the march. Again, it's a keeper for Blaine Jackson. Just when it looked like he had a hole, kid, and maybe a path to the end zone. Boy, he met some resistance from the Highlanders.
Yeah, big hit right there. Watch it inside. You'll see big 77. He'll shed a block. He also got some help from his inside linebacker as well. Big plays that time. Adrian Hernandez helping out with the stop.
All right, Ken, what do you do here? 3rd and goal from the 2.
I got to look for my man Goodson. See if you can get him outside on the edges. Let him use his speed to get into the end zone.
Tigers 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversion so far. This one the most important so far tonight. Down 2 scores with a 3rd and goal.
It looks like Goodson is on the bench for this play.
Inside handoff to Thomas.
Oh my goodness.
And he went head over heels near the goal line and did not get in. The Highlanders saying no, he did not. Very close. But Thomas couldn't find the end zone. He had a head of steam when he took this football.
Yeah, you see him come off the flanker reverse, and he just tries to go up over the top, and he is chopped down. Big hit. That was the truck number 52, Maurice Cook with the big blast.
Oh, he helicoptered inside the 1, so it's 4th and goal. There is no doubt the Tigers will go for this one. Jeremy Fair is the running back who will now move into the slot. And again, the quarterback, Jackson, trying to keep. Is he in? Yes! Touchdown, Klein Collins.
That play looked a little bit shaky from the start, but Jackson, with his second effort, able to fall over the end line, get into the end zone.
I'm with you. It looked like the play was blown up right there, but Jackson able to squirm into the end zone, his 6th rushing touchdown this season. Rhett Peterson will try and add the point after touchdown and get the Tigers right back into this game after that touchdown drive and the score from Jackson. Busy first quarter, Ken.
This is what we expected, a shootout.
There's your left-footed kicker, Rhett Peterson, and his try is perfect. So with 2:34 to play down our first quarter, the Woodlands 14 and Klein Collins 7.
We got a big crowd on hand tonight for this 5A Region 2 opening round matchup. As we mentioned, this was a game that went into the 70s last year, 42-31. The Woodlands came out on top of that one. They had a quick 14-zip lead here tonight.
Let's talk about that game, Ken, because last year the Woodlands trailed 31-28 going into that fourth quarter. They scored a couple of late touchdowns to win. They were outgained. Klein Collins at 488 yards to just 377 for the Woodlands, but they found a way. And now I'm sure for Klein Collins, they'd like to reverse that trend here tonight.
Well, Klein Collins had a couple of big turnovers in that ball game as well that helped the Woodlands to victory, so they definitely want to protect the football here tonight. You see how explosive this Highlander offense has gotten throughout the season, so you definitely can't give them any extra opportunities.
So Klein Collins did exactly what they needed to do on that drive, score, put up a touchdown. Now their defense will have to rise to the stand after 2 very good drives from the Woodlands.
Yeah, that was a 5-play, 67-yard drive, took 2:25 off the clock. The big play was the 53-yard catch and run by Goodson. Blake Jackson did the damage at the end on 4th and goal with the 1-yard touchdown run.
So Rhett Peterson will kick off for Klein Collins. Tyler Patrick, one of the deep men for the Woodlands. He's joined by McKenna as well. But it'll be a short kick. We've seen a lot of that tonight. And not much of a chance to return, or so you would think. Across the 30-yard line is Colby Brown. So he's done that a couple of times tonight.
Hey, guys, can you hear me?
Go ahead, Jay.
Okay, yeah, y'all were talking about last year's game, and Klein Collins actually got out to an early lead in that ball game, and they led at the half. And the Woodlands, just found a way to come back and beat Klein Collins last year. So maybe the trend is reversing here. Woodlands got off to the early lead. Let's see if Collins can come back and end up winning this one.
Ken, so far, though, you look at the numbers for the Woodlands now out there for their third drive. They've gained 123 yards in 2 possessions. The things are clicking for them.
They have their offense on all cylinders rushing right now. And here comes that man again.
Well, Patrick Carr, the sophomore, with a head of steam. Not a big guy, 5'9", 180 pounds. As you see him get up off the bottom of the pile, he picked up 7 on the play. Seems to have one speed, though, Ken. I mean, Eric Lacey got there to tackle him, but, boy, he is a fast runner in space.
He goes from 1st to 5th gear. There's no 2nd and 3rd with this kid.
Call it 2nd and 4 for the Highlanders. Gillespie's had plenty of time to throw tonight, now being chased. But as he'll run, he'll get the first down or maybe not. Wicked open field tackle on the near sidelines, and that kept him from a chance to get to the first down. It is Jordan Thomas.
I think he actually did pick up the first down barely. But I tell you what, he missed a wide open Houston Brown on the far sideline. There was no one within 15 yards of Brown on that far sideline. Gillespie didn't see him, but he was lucky enough to pick up the first down.
He did get it. Jordan Thomas with a nice open field tackle. The wide receiver was also a defensive back, able to make the play. So the football at the 38. Carr will carry again, trying to pick a hole, but not much there as he ran into the teeth of the line for Klein Collins. Plenty of blue shirts there, including Aubryon McClinton, one of the defensive ends.
So it looks like Collins has made a couple of adjustments in the secondary. They're giving these receivers about 10 yards off the line of scrimmage after getting beat on that big pass play earlier. So they're going to try to prevent the big play, and they're going to try to maintain the Highlanders to some short gains.
Call it 2nd and 9 for the Woodlands. Football between the hashes right there at the 39-yard line. Another jet sweep for Carr, and he has to try and make something out of nothing, but he does. His speed enables him to take the ball near the sticks. And there's a late flag on the field. Boy, Kim, when that play began, it didn't look like Carr had any running room.
That was an excellent move by Carr that time. Again, you see Klein Collins trying to take away the outside. They don't want to let him get around the defense. So an excellent adjustment that time by Carr to turn it up inside and pick up 7 yards.
It's another personal foul face mask, which will tack on 15 more. See if we can pick that up at the end of this play. And you see right away, though, again, it looked like Carr might be taken for a loss, and he just keeps navigating through very little running room to get that first down.
Yeah, it looks like the Highlanders may have gotten away with a hole back up at the 40-yard line. Chris Warren, the wide receiver, had a handful of jersey, but the officials missed it. So break for the Highlanders. They get the personal foul on the face mask. That'll move it up inside the 35.
Yeah, in fact, at the 33, where Gillespie will accept this next snap. Puts the ball right in the gut again of his running back, Patrick Carr, trying to bounce or pinball between tacklers. Santos finally there to wrap him up as he gets inside the 30 for a pickup of 4 on the play.
Yeah, that time you see the strength of Carr. He's just not a fast tailback. He has some power behind him. Big kid.
Well, you look at what he did last week. 12 carries, 265 yards, 5 touchdowns. 12 carries.
Unbelievable.
I mean, he had scoring runs that were of 30, 40 yards, you name it. Well, looks like that'll be the final play of our first quarter. An entertaining one indeed. The Highlanders will go to the sideline and try and gather some rest after a busy first. They lead Klein Collins 14-7 right here on the Legacy Sports Network.
If safety is your goal, Fabinco is your gate. Fabinco, the world's leading manufacturer of self-closing safety gates.
See our score, 14-7, the Woodlands leading after one quarter. They had 149 yards total offense. Klein Collins had 96. It's a 2nd and 6 for the Woodlands as we switch sides. Gillespie trying to get outside and makes a man miss at the 30. Now just heading for the sidelines, and he'll be out of bounds at around the 28. Keeper for Blaine Gillespie. He had a lot of running room to get a handful of yards.
Yeah, good coverage in the secondary that time by the Tiger defense. As they took away the post pattern, that's where Gillespie was looking to go early on. Coverage broke down. He scrambled out of bounds, picks up a few yards. You see his numbers on the season, 11 touchdowns, 7 INTs.
He's had time to throw. That's been a big part of it. We'll see what he wants to do here on 3rd and 5. As the Woodlands are on the move. You know the Tigers defense, they'd love to find a way to make a stop here some way, somehow. It's Carr again with a head of steam running left inside the 20, ran into his own man before Thomas was able to stick him up, but he will move the sticks and pick up a first down.
Yeah,
gain up of 8.
Yeah, another good strong run that time by Carr as he just kind of weaves his way through the line. Interesting call on 3rd down as they go to the run, but you see the confidence that they have in their offensive line. And, yeah, just a little bump on the outside by McKenna stops Carr's momentum.
I was talking about his scoring runs last week, 64 yards, 46, 60, 20, and 38. That was his 5 touchdowns. Nothing simple. 20 yards was the shortest. Right now the football is at the 21, and Carr will carry again. He will go down at the 18. He had one man to try and shift by, but he could not. It was Jeremy Winchester, the safety, who came up to blow that play up after a pickup of 3.
That sounds like some good lottery numbers that Mr. Carr had last week.
I
may have to put those in the memory bank and drop those in tomorrow.
You have to keep reminding yourself he is a sophomore, though, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. But that's the thing about Texas high school football. You see so many of these talented players, sophomores and juniors, they have these breakout seasons out of nowhere. You know, it reminds me of Troy Williams about 3 or 4 years ago when he really broke out.
Gillespie will keep getting to the corner. And he should, in fact, have another first down as he steps it about at the 9 as Derek Thomas, one of the leading tacklers on this team, was there to chase.
Yeah, and he got a good block from Carr. Watch number 1. Just a little kick-out block. That allows his quarterback to turn the corner, pick up an extra 3 or 4 yards. It'll be second down. Actually, it'll be first and goal.
Yeah, pickup of 7. So the Woodlands on the move again. Gillespie's carried 4 times. Kenny's picked up 74 yards. There's a running back to each side. It's Warren to his left, Carr to his right. Carr will carry again, showing that shifty feet. And a dive inside the 7 to around the 6. He gained 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, Isaiah Bird coming up from that left defensive end spot to make the tackle, hold him to a minimal gain, but he still picks up 3.
See what Gillespie wants to do here. Second and goal for the Woodlands. Gillespie may keep. He will keep. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns for the Woodlands. That's a 6-yard touchdown run for Gillespie.
Well, that was an 11-play drive, all on the ground. I mean, they just ran it right down the Tigers' throat. And we're coming right at you, big boys. Stop us if you can. Klein Collins good.
Something's going on scheme-wise because the outside linebacker, Derek Thomas, was there to stop the pitch man, but nobody was there to stop the quarterback. They've got to figure out what's going on there and scheme-wise fix it so you have 2 guys there, one to stop the quarterback and one to stop the pitch man.
Well, if anything, Ken, you have to stop the ball first.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You got to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands in that situation, force him to pitch it, and like Jay mentioned, you have no one on the quarterback, and that's a problem defensively.
Garcia's point after touchdown was good, and the Woodlands now with a 21-7 lead as they've scored a touchdown in all 3 of their drives tonight here in this playoff opener.
Well, there's definitely going to be some adjustments has to be made over here on the near sideline, and on the far sideline, Highlanders all smiles right now as they lead it by 14 points. But, hey, Klein Collins, they have an explosive offense as well, as we saw on their last drive when they went 67 yards in a little over 2 minutes. So don't think they're going to lay down and die for a minute.
Well, it was an important drive for Klein Collins to get that touchdown down 14-0, but now, Ken, they're in a similar spot, down 14 points again.
Yeah, you put yourself in a must-score situation is what they're in right now.
So Garcia will kick off again. He's been a busy man here tonight. Had a lot of these short pooch kicks, and we will get another. This football will land right around the 22-yard line, and I believe it's the same man again, Isaiah Santos, who will carry still on his feet. Just about escaped the scrum, but he did bring the ball back to the 35-yard line, so decent field position for the Tigers.
That last drive for the Woodlands, 11 plays, 69 yards, took 4:32 off the clock. And as we mentioned, Gillespie with the 6-yard burst, they lead at 21-7.
See the Woodlands sidelines. A lot has gone right for them. Now Klein Collins will look to answer again offensively with their quarterback Blake Jackson, a man who last year was the quarterback of the JV team. Wasn't very happy about it, but he said maybe it was the best thing for him, able to continue being a quarterback and carried over that experience into this season. He'll carry the football across the 40 as he dives up to around the 42.
Well, Jackson has had a lot to persevere as he, of course, had the injury early in the season. We mentioned missed a couple of ball games, able to reclaim his starting job here at the end of the season. So this is a big game for the senior. He doesn't want it to be his last.
No, he does not. He picked up 7 on that play. You know, he talking about quarterbacking the JV last year. Kenny said it was maybe the best thing for him, even it hurt, and I'm sure it did. But you could see where that experience of playing and not just sitting would benefit him this season.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You definitely want to get playing time, even if you're playing on Thursdays instead of Fridays.
Looks like we're going to have a timeout. Klein Collins will talk things over with 9:18 to play here in the half. All Woodlands so far, they lead 21-7 on the Legacy Sports Network.
College College football returns to Reliance Stadium as the Big 12 faces off against the Big 10 at the Meineke Car Care Bowl of Texas, Friday, December 28th. Bring your family and friends to experience the passion, pageantry, and football tradition that can only be seen in the Lone Star State. For more information, go online to MeinekeCarCareBowlOfTexas.com or call 832-667-2390. We'll see you in December for a football celebration as big as Texas.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by First Victoria National Bank. First Victoria National Bank is the oldest independent bank in Texas. Visit one of their 5 locations in the Woodlands and Spring area and open a totally free checking account and receive a free gift.
Hey, Brett, I think you mentioned Blake Jackson playing JV last year. Blake Jackson actually did not even go to Klein Collins last year. He just re-enrolled into the school for a senior year.
He has 7 carries so far, 44 yards. Hits an open man down the sidelines. Trey White out of the backfield to carry the football inside the 30 to the 29. So Trey White gets involved and able to take it downfield before he was finally tackled by Schneider.
Well, you see they faked the jet sweep that time. Good protection for Jackson, wide open for Trey White down the near sideline. Picks up a huge first down for Klein Collins.
8th reception of the year for Trey White, so it gives the Tigers good field position, but a flag, and let's see if this is on Klein Collins. 36-yard pickup on that previous play, but you see the penalty. 5 yards will be marked off against Klein Collins.
Klein Collins on the season averages 430 yards per game, 272 on the ground, a $158 through the air. This is an offense that puts up 40 points a game. So they know they can score with the Woodlands. They just have to find a way to stop them on the other side of the ball.
Big pass play to White gives them pretty good opportunity to march it in again, but now they're looking at a 1st and 15 as we near the 9-minute mark here in our second quarter. White will shuffle in motion again, but Jackson will keep it. Picking up a couple of yards just to the left of the left hash mark as he gets down to the 31. We'll call it a gain of 3 on the keeper for Jackson. Thomas Gilstrap, a linebacker, and Grant Bennett, defensive tackle, combined on the stop.
Yeah, Gilstrap, the junior, with a big hit on that play. Stops him before he gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
A couple of big plays here. It'll be 2nd and 12 for the Tigers. Jackson throwing left sideline, completes to Thomas. He's down the left sideline. He stayed in bounds, and that'll be a touchdown. 31 yards as Jordan Thomas will add his 8th receiving touchdown this season.
Well, Brett, that was just a simple out route. Nothing fancy about it. 2-step drop, fires it to the receiver. Defensive back in bad position. This is the tackle, T.C. Schneider, the sophomore, whiffs on the defensive play. That allows Jackson to take it easily into the end zone.
So a quick answer. And our point after from Ryan Lester is good. So Lester gets a chance and knocks one right through. A lot of points. And the Woodlands now leading by 7 again, 21-14.
Yeah, so Jordan Thomas making that one look very easy. Just a simple down and out. And he takes it to the house. So we have a very competitive ball game here tonight at Klein Memorial.
Better settle in. I think we're going to have a few more scores before this one's over.
Yeah, I'm going to break out the calculator here in just a second.
And the band, they're going to be busy as well for the Woodlands on the far sidelines. A lot of activity for the Spirit squads and band members here in this playoff game. Beautiful night here in Klein Collins.
And of course, the winner of this one next week will get Round Rock Westwood in round 2 over here in the Division I Region 2 playoffs.
That game is going to be played at Floyd at Casey Stadium in Waco.
Yeah, guys, all 4 teams got together and they talked about it and made a flip. And the 13-14 5A guys won the coin flip, so they got to choose the neutral location. So regardless of what happened, whoever wins this ball game will play Westwood, like you said, Saturday 1 o'clock at Floyd Casey.
So the Woodlands, they've not been stopped yet tonight. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. They'll get the football back, but that Klein Collins score has made this a 7-point lead again. And the kick will be taken at the far sidelines and pushed across the 31-yard line. Looked Looked like it was Chris Espinoza that returned that kick. So the Highlanders have it again. And Ken, what does the Klein Collins defense need to do? We talked about schemes, making changes. What do they need to do to slow down the Highlanders?
Well, first of all, they're going to have to get some pressure on the quarterback. They're doing a good job keeping Carr bottled up. He hasn't been able to get outside, but now they're going to have to come with some run blitzes, maybe bring some guys off the edges to get some pressure on the quarterback, as he's just had way too much time in the pocket.
So we'll see Gillespie again. He faked the handoff to Carr. He'll run left sidelines himself across the 40. Looks like he has the first down, picked up 11 or 12 on that play. Nothing fancy, but that fake to Carr had the defense biting, and then Gillespie gains another first down.
Yeah, and another thing you have to do, you have to put a spy on the quarterback. Again, as Jay mentioned, last time they didn't have anyone covering the quarterback on the option pitch. This time, again, the quarterback running free in your secondary for another 13-yard run.
Well, that's the 10th first down for the Woodlands here tonight. They will have the football at their 44 with a fresh set of downs. Now it is Gillespie again running left. He's into Klein Collins territory. Finally tackled by Santos as he got to the 43. There's another gain in excess of 10 yards and another first down for the Woodlands.
You know, Kim, you're talking about the spy there. I don't know if the spy is the right answer, because if you spy him, then you have to concentrate fully on him, and then if he gives to Patrick Carr on that play, then it's so hard to cut back and make a play on Carr. I don't know what they have to do, but they got to figure something out really, really quick.
What they're doing is not working. That was a gain of 12. Little flea flicker action here. Gillespie hit as he throws. That football might be picked, and is. There is a penalty marker down, however. And the corner, Kevin Farmer, with the pick is also down, but we'll see what that penalty marker is all about.
That could go either way, guys. That was number 19 for the Woodlands downfield. That was Jamie Taylor, and he was in a hand fight with the defensive back for Klein Collins. I believe it was Frankie Griffin. They were hand fighting all the way down the field, so that penalty really could go either way. And it looks like it's going to go against the Highlanders.
Klein Collins sideline celebrating. Here's the official signal. Offensive holding. So the pick will stand from Kevin Farmer, and you can see a little pressure here on Gillespie after the flea flicker, Ken, as he finally went to throw.
Yeah, absolutely. Good pressure coming from the top of the screen. He took a shot. The ball just floated in the air. You see the receiver and the defensive back hand fighting near the 5-yard line. The ball falls near the 10, returned back up across the 20. So a good break for Klein Collins as their defense, as we mentioned, Jay, they make a much-needed play in the secondary. Now they have a chance to tie this ball game up if they can put together another good drive.
And I'm not sure why the Woodlands threw the ball there. You're running 10, 12 yards a clip. I'd keep it on the ground.
Said it was the 6th pick of the year for Gillespie, so now Blake Jackson and company, they will start from their 34, down a score. Now it's Jackson's turn to go to the air. They had a wide open receiver, but the pass was underthrown and incomplete, intended for Goodson. Well, Dimitri Goodson, the middle brother in that family, went to Gonzaga and then transferred to Baylor. So, boy, it's an athletic family, and here's an athletic player, Ken, ready to make a play. That ball just didn't get to him.
I mean, he still has to make that catch. I mean, he's wide open. The ball's a little low, but that's a catchable football.
Well, you lead him properly, and that's 6.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's going to be a huge play. Instead, it's 2nd and 10. Trey White will join Jackson in the backfield. Now Jackson looking to throw. Inside toss to Jordan Thomas, a busy man, a two-way player as a wide receiver and a defensive back. He picks up 6 between the hashes. It'll bring up a 3rd and manageable for the Tigers.
It's just a quick inside bubble screen. Big 3rd down coming up.
Indeed, because the Tigers can 0 for 4 on 3rd down conversion so far tonight. They need one here. Blake Jackson, the senior. Nothing fancy, quick pitch, pass is complete. It'll be good for the first down. He was hauled in by Cameron Green as he takes the football and finally is finished at the 45-yard line. He picked up 9 on the play to move the sticks.
Excellent job by the inside junior receiver. Knew exactly where he had to go to pick up the first down. Just went down past the 40, turned around, caught the football, picked up an extra 5 after the catch. 1st and 10.
So a lot of white shirts there, but an accurate pass. So a fresh set of downs. And now Jackson will keep it. He'll have a first down. Still on his feet inside the 40 and dragging tacklers to the 38. Pickup of 16 yards on the play.
Jackson trying to pull a little Blaine Gillespie as he'll keep the football. No one attacks him. Good block right there. Looks like it was the left tackle got a good block, and he carries a defender all the way inside the 40.
Sure did. It was Thomas Gilstrap who was able to hold on and make the play. And here comes Jeremy Fair for the carry. He's carried now 85 times this season. I believe that's the first time tonight as he gets involved and gains a couple of yards on first down.
Yeah, Jeremy Fair is the big back. Goes 5'9", 220. He's a senior. He's a big boy.
He'll come out after that carry, as you see on your screen. It'll be a 2nd and 7 for the Tigers. We're nearing the 6-minute mark of our second quarter. Tigers trying to take it to the end zone to tie up this game. Goodson will not get the football. A throw instead. Trey White is there at the 10 to the 5, and he's tackled out of bounds inside the 2. Colby Brown saved a touchdown, but it's a gain of 34 yards on the play.
Well, another big-time throw from Jackson. Again, you see they fake the end around. Excellent protection by the offensive line. And just a little wheel route by White, and he takes it down inside the 5, 1st and goal.
Yeah, that play design has worked a few times already. Just somebody basically coming out of the backfield, entering the flats and turning it into a wheel up the sideline. That's been open a few times already.
Yeah, White has been busy as well. A couple of catches, 70 yards. We'll see what he does here on 1st and goal from the 3. It's White in the backfield with Jackson. Jackson will keep, heads for the end zone. He's in. That's 6. Touchdown, Klein Collins. And they're a point away, an extra point away from tying up this football game with 5:55 to play before the half.
Nothing fancy here. He'll use White as a blocker. He gets a nice block there, and then it's Jackson doing the rest as he just runs over Ben Liscomb for the touchdown.
2nd rushing touchdown here tonight. And now Rhett Peterson on to try and even up this game at 21 apiece. Kick nearly blocked, but he powers one right through the uprights, and we are tied here at Klein Memorial Stadium. Thriller so far. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
Hello, I'm Gerald Burke.
And I'm Morgan Burke. I graduated from the Woodlands High School in 1998. I played football and I ran track there.
Morgan and I are lawyers. We office at 24 Waterway, Suite number 660 in the Woodlands.
I was a former prosecutor here in Montgomery County. Now I handle the criminal work at our office.
I've been practicing for more than 30 years. If you have a legal concern, contact us at 713-862-7766 or check us out at thehometownlawyer.com.
And as always, go Highlanders.
Yes, sir.
Well, tonight's playoff game, they're brought to you in part by Fabenco, the Safety Gate Company, and in part by Michael J. Morris DDS. Comfort, quality, and confidence. That's Michael J. Morris DDS in spring. Visit him on the web at michaelmorrisdds.com. And by Gerald and Morgan Burke, your hometown lawyers. And by Lodge Lumber, quality forestry products.
Well, after the interception, it was a 7-play, 71-yard drive. Big play. The 34-yard pass play to Trey White. Then Blake Jackson takes it in from 3 yards out. We have a brand new ball game, folks. We're tied at 21 with 555s to go here in the second.
So a couple of 14-point leads here tonight for the Woodlands, but a brand new game. Now the Woodlands to get the football back after that pick. First time they did not score today. And there's a short kick. That football was loose for just a split second before it was finally covered by Jamie Taylor. He's one of the wide receivers, backup quarterback on that hands team up front, and able to collect that football, but it'll be good field position for the Highlanders.
They still have 5:55 to work with here. They have 3 timeouts remaining. I doubt if they'll need any the way their offense has been going up and down the field. But a turnover on their last possession allowed Klein Collins to tie this football game up.
So Gillespie, he's run for more than 100 yards already, couple of touchdowns. 36 passing yards with a TD and that pick on that last drive. And it'll be Patrick Carr in the jet sweep, taken down for a loss, or was he? He might have escaped when it looked like he was wrapped up well behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh, wow.
Christian Snow missed him, and then he was able to navigate forward. And what should have been a loss of 3 or 4 results in a gain of 4.
Y'all are going to have a better view on the replay. From on the field, though, it looked like that was a good call. I don't think his knee touched.
No, it did not. It definitely did not. That was an excellent job by Carr.
What a great replay as well from our crew. So it'll be 2nd and 7. Football placed right at the 40 on the far hash. Carr will carry again. Looked like he might go down again for a loss, but he'll finally fight forward, and he's wrapped up by Eric Lacey, and he just wouldn't give up. I mean, he's seen Carr enough, Ken, to know that you have to wrap up against this young sophomore.
Yeah, watch him again. Good. Inside penetration that time by Collins forces him to bounce it outside. But again, a good lateral pursuit play to bring him down, dropping him for a 1-yard loss. Excellent play that time by Lacey.
Well, it's 3rd and 6. The Highlanders perfect so far on 3rd down conversions. They'll go to the air, and there's a wide open receiver down the left sidelines. It is Chris Warren to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, and did he stay in bounds? It looked like he went out. He will be marked out inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. Chris Warren just about scored his first touchdown this season.
57 yards on the pass play, and just like we saw the last time by the Woodlands defensive back mixing a tackle on just a down and out. Defensive back blows the tackle, and that allows the receiver to take it down inside the 5-yard line.
So Warren on his 12th catch of the year had by far his longest run, and it'll be 1st and goal from the 3. So just when the Tigers tie things up, the Highlanders trying to regain. Jamie Taylor now is into the game. He's into the end zone. So Taylor able to score, coming on for Gillespie, and the Highlanders have regained the lead.
Well, on the previous play, it was Jeremy Winchester who missed the tackle, and the result is the 3-yard touchdown run by the senior Jamie Taylor that puts the Woodlands back on top.
His 2nd rushing touchdown this season. And Alex Garcia will try and add the extra point. Kickers have been perfect so far tonight, and that will continue. So it's a 28-21 Woodlands lead, and we're getting all the offense, Ken, we thought we might, and maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, we're going to have to give me a couple of more pins, a couple of more highlighters over here.
The band, they'll be busy too if they're playing after every score tonight. 4 touchdowns for the Woodlands so far. You see their sidelines trying to catch some rest in between a very busy scoring drive.
These defenses are going to be worn out. Everybody's going to be worn out after this ball game, this first half. That last drive, 4 plays, 64 yards. The big play, the 57-yard catch and run by Chris Warren, capped off by the 3-yard touchdown by Jamie Taylor.
Well, the Woodlands, they had scoring drives of 95 and 71 yards in their first 2 opportunities to take a 14-0 lead. And Jackson was able to get a touchdown to put Klein Collins on the board. Woodlands answered again, another Gillespie touchdown that made it 21-7. The next 2 scores, well, it was a 31-yard pass, Jackson to Thomas for Klein Collins, and then Jackson a short touchdown run. But Taylor there with the go-ahead score, making it 28-21 Highlanders. And Klein Collins to get that football back again. Another very short, high pooch punt that'll be taken around the 28. Santos ran into his own man, then tackled forward at about the 34-yard line. He was wrapped up by Matt Miller, senior defensive lineman, able to make a special teams tackle.
So now, for Mr. Jackson, it's his time to answer. Mr. Gillespie, a little one-upsmanship here going on this evening.
Well, it's been a fun matchup, a rematch of last year's first-round playoff game, as we discussed in our open. Woodlands won 42-31, and now the Tigers down by 7 again. Have the football back, and Gillespie, or Jackson rather, will go to the air. His pass complete on the near sidelines. It is number 14, Ryan Kozar. His first catch tonight, his 7th of the season. He was popped out after a gain that'll move the sticks.
He took a lick over here on the near sideline by Kobe Brown. Watch it coming up here.
You are dead on there. That was a shot.
There's almost a couple of helmets colliding there on our replay.
That was a man hit right there.
So Klein Collins just about 3 yards shy of midfield. As we near the 4-minute mark here of our first half, 9 first downs so far tonight for the Tigers. And there's Trey White on the carry. He'll take it up to midfield, and that's where he's wrapped up and thrown down by Matt Miller again.
This is almost a situation for Klein Collins where their offense may be their best defense. If they can try to get a nice long drive to end the half, get their defense some rest, if they can convert and not allow the Woodlands to get back on the field, that would be their best option of success.
They got 3 yards on that previous play, so we'll call it 2nd and 7 from midfield between the hashes. Little pitch play. That's White running right. And he's down around the 46. He was being chased by the Highlanders. Clayton Lowell, the defensive end, makes the stop. Gain of 5, so it'll be 3rd and short.
That's a play that they like a lot. They put big Brandon Edmonds in at fullback, let him squeeze off to the right side as a lead blocker. Good play by the Highlander defense to stop him short of the first down. We may be in 4-down territory.
I was thinking the same thing. Klein Collins 1 for 5 on 3rd down conversions, but maybe a chance on 2 downs should they need it. At the 3-minute mark here of our second quarter. And Jackson himself will purge the line. He has the first down to the 40, and he's stuck and hit hard by Colby Brown, but not before. He picked up 6.
Colby Brown, the senior, he says, you may pick up some yards, but you're going to pay for it, young man. His second big hit. As you see Jackson, he'll just run right behind Fair. Fair got a good block on the linebacker, but a great hit by Brown in the secondary. A little sumo flex there.
That's textbook tackling there from Colby Brown. We've called his name a few times, but the Tigers able to get the first down, and there is Jeremy Fair. Is it Edwards? It's Jeremy Fair on the carry, still on his feet to the 15, to the 10, draggling tacklers inside the 5, and he's down to the 3-yard line. Jeremy Fair with the carry of 37 yards, and he would not be denied, and they could not bring him down.
Well, Jeremy Fair, he's the big kid. He goes 220. He uses every bit of it on this play as he sheds a tackle there, runs through a couple of more. He's like a little mini Earl Campbell out there on that play. He rumbles down inside the 5.
Boy, how many different Highlanders had a chance to make that tackle? And now it's the quarterback, Jackson again, keeping. He's in. Touchdown, Klein Collins. A 3-yard run. And again, we are a point away from this game being tied.
That was the same recipe as the last drive. Get it down deep, then allow Jackson to take it over as he spins his way into the end zone, goes over right guard. Another lead block by Fair, gets him in for the score, and we're about to have another tie early in this ballgame.
Well, Blake Jackson had run for 5 touchdowns this season. He's added 3 tonight. The kick was nearly blocked, but Peterson pumps it through, and we are tied again at 28.
And that was actually Ryan Lester that kicked out when they kind of rotate in and out just so they have 2 kickers that are fresh just in case something ever happens. They have another guy to lean on.
As we look at the brackets down here at the bottom left, you'll see Round Rock Westwood. They won last night, so they will take on the winner of this ball game. And as we mentioned, that game will be played next week at Floyd Casey Stadium in Waco.
Talking to Coach Schmidt before the ball game, he had some scouts there, of course, watching that ball game. And I believe he said it was a 14-7 ball game at the half. And remember, Del Valle is only a 4-6 ball club, too. But 14-7 at the half, and he said Westwood ended up winning 31-10, I believe. And they only threw the ball 3 times all ball game.
Jay, I want to come down to you after this kickoff and talk about Coach Schmidt. He's here tonight. Had to watch a win against College Park a couple of weeks ago from the press box. It's been a trying couple of weeks on him, but we'll come back to that after this kickoff. Still plenty of time here in this first half. 2:25 to play, and the Woodlands will get the football back again. Another one of those short pooch kicks. A fair catch was fumbled, but wrapped up at the 36. And Jay, you spent some time with Coach Schmidt. How's he been doing this week?
Well, relatively not really good, but he's had a tough month or so, battling some health issues intestinally, and he's doing a lot better this week. But, a lot of people don't like the Woodlands or whatever, and, they kind of associate that with him. But let me tell you what, Coach Mark Schmidt is a great Christian guy. He is a terrific man and a great ball coach too. But yes, he's had some issues, but he's here and he's somewhat healthy. He's going to have more procedures later on, but right now he's probably feeling pretty good.
Well, those coaches' stomachs, I tell you what, you're in a playoff game, a lot of intensity, a lot of things going on. Here's Gillespie to carry again, moving the football right up the middle on a keeper across the 40, diving for the 41. He'll pick up 6 on the play. It's not easy, though, being a coach, is it, Ken?
Oh, no, absolutely not. A lot of pressure from your players, a lot of pressure from your staff, from the fan base. Just a lot of things going on that you have to handle in that type of situation.
We're inside 2 minutes to go here in the half. Gillespie will go to the air, has a wide open receiver, and that football is caught by Bailey Novak, one of the slot men. He's out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Winchester there gets credit for the stop.
Again, just another little crossing pattern, and these defensive coaches are going to be sick watching the tape tonight. Just a little down and out, gets out of bounds. 15 yards and another first down.
Accurate quarterbacks can take advantage if given time to throw, and their wide receivers are open, and we've seen that from both Gillespie and Jackson here tonight. So a tie ball game. Woodlands on the move again. Now Gillespie just running for his life, and he's wrapped up and thrown backwards by McClinton. The second time we've called McClinton's name, but that tackle for a loss, -6 on the play. It was a big one for the Tigers defense.
Yeah, McClinton, the senior defensive lineman, with a big play. Gillespie could not get out of the grasp with that one, and they're going to call a timeout.
Timeout with 1:40 to play here in our half. Tied at 28. You see the Highlanders talking things over. Tied with Klein Collins. Entertaining first half, to say the least.
Yeah, you're looking at a second and 17 now. With this Klein Collins defense, you definitely don't want to get beat over the top. But you have to be aware. You have Gillespie, you have Carr. They have so many talented players through the Highlanders. They can go in any direction. And second and 17 for a lot of teams may be a lot, but for this ball club, it's like 2nd and 3.
Not from what we've seen tonight, you're right, or maybe even more than that. Some of the numbers, Gillespie, by the way, Kenny's rushed for 104 yards, couple of touchdowns. He's thrown for more than 100 and also a score. And you look at Jackson on the other side, Blake Jackson, he's run for 72 yards and 3 scores. So their quarterbacks in both teams have done a fine job.
Well, you have to give a lot of credit to these offensive linemen. They've kept a lot of pressure off of their quarterbacks tonight.
You saw Jamie Taylor there on your screen. We'll see who Gillespie wants to throw to. Back with time. His pass does go to Taylor at the 40, and he's ushered out of bounds at the 39. Apparently, he stayed inbounds. And the clock will continue to run. Isaiah Santos able to make that tackle.
Well, I guess they say it's forward progress stopped inbounds, so they'll keep the clock running.
Yeah. Gain of 11. The clock will continue to move. So the Highlanders will have a 3rd and 5. And Gillespie will set up to throw. Deep ball again, and that pass is caught. Hauled in by McKenna. He had a touchdown catch earlier, and what a tremendous over-the-shoulder grab in double coverage, and that ball was dropped in the bucket perfectly.
Wow, that looked like a Peyton Manning pass. I mean, that throw was absolutely perfect. 22 yards on the pass play, and look at that catch by McKenna on the sideline. That was professional-esque.
You see McKenna getting a break. He's had a touchdown tonight, another long catch right there. The Highlanders are in the red zone with over a minute to go, trying to take the lead again before the half. And Carr on the rush. Nice cutback at the 15, still on his feet at the 10, and he's ridden down at about the 7-yard line.
Well, the worst place you wanted to be right now was Mr. Jack Morris, 33. Watch Carr come on the jet sweep. It's him and Morris one-on-one. Whoops. Goodbye.
Casey Massey had to clean up after a gain of 10.
My goodness.
They're going to call it to get a gain of 9, or are they going to measure? Because they're going to bring the sticks in just to make sure. The clock stopped at about 58 seconds to play here in our first half. Well, you thought a couple of minutes, Ken, was more than enough time for this Woodlands offense if they got things clicking.
Yeah, and we just talked a moment ago about 2nd and 17 not being a big challenge for that team, and they picked it up with the big pass play. But I love that run last time by Carr. One-on-one in the secondary. That's what you, as a tailback, you relish those moments, making a man miss.
He's about a football length shy of the first down. So maybe a chance, Ken, for a free play here on 2nd and very, very short.
Yeah, they can take it down. I mean, they have the entire playbook open to them at this point. They still have 2 timeouts remaining, so they can run the football. We've seen a lot of the quarterback draws in this situation with Gillespie. So that may be something that they go to here.
McKenna and Novak will be the 2 wide receivers to the left of Gillespie, the wide side of the football field if he wants to take a quick hit into the end zone. Clock running again, 2nd and very short. It'll be a keeper for Gillespie, running left, and he is tackled in the open field by Massey. Again, he's made a couple of big stops. See if he got enough to pick up the first down. The official, they're going to stop the clock right now, either to move the sticks or measure.
Yeah, they may have to have another measurement. He didn't pick up much on that play. It's over the near side of the field, so the official's going to take a look.
He's eyeballing it right now.
I think they're going to go ahead and bring in the sticks, yep.
Yeah, close enough, why not? Clock already stopped with 48 seconds to play. Well, they were short the first time by about a football's length, and that time they got it by about a third of a football.
As you mentioned, it was a great play by Massey to bring him down, but they only needed about half a yard. They picked it up. So now it'll be 1st and goal at the 7. Still 2 timeouts remaining for the Highlanders.
15 first downs in this game by the Woodlands. Now they have 1st and goal from the 7. Clock running after the sticks were moved. And Gillespie watching the clock run as he will take the snap. Running right, he will keep at the 5 towards the goal line. He's tackled right there at the 1. Might have been Massey again, and was. He's taking care of the defensive load. The clock stopped with a timeout with 27 seconds to play. It'll be 2nd and goal from about a yard out.
And again, no one has the quarterback as you watch it here. As he's running down the line. I mean, you got a big defensive lineman trying to track him down. That's not going to work. Your defensively end has to get a wider split on that play. They're going to have to make some adjustments in the secondary.
And they're about 28 seconds away from having that opportunity at the half. You see the Woodlands talking things over. And Parsons was the defensive player for the Tigers that missed before Massey cleaned up. And Massey's been a one-man wrecking crew defensively, but you're right, Ken, he needs some help.
Yep, absolutely. They're going to go to the drawing board. Well, right now, they're in a precarious situation, 27 seconds to go.
Well, the Highlanders do have 1 timeout left. So what do you do here, Ken? 2nd and goal from about the 1 with 28 seconds to play.
Gillespie. They haven't stopped him yet. So
I should have said if you wouldn't pick Gillespie, what would you do here on 2nd and goal from the 1? That would seem to be a pretty good choice. Yeah. You're full of weapons. Pretty easy to be a coach after all, maybe.
Not too bad up here in the booth. No pressure.
Now it's Taylor who will work from the Wildcats. So Jamie Taylor will take the football. He'll fake. He'll run right into the end zone. That is a Woodlands touchdown. Taylor has scored again, his 2nd time tonight, and that is the 5th touchdown for the Woodlands here in the first half.
He's the Woodlands version of the bulldozer. As you see with the Oklahoma Sooners, sometimes they'll bring the big quarterback in to take it in from a yard out, but it really doesn't matter if it was Taylor or Gillespie. It's easy pickings from that short distance.
Alex Garcia will try and boot one through from the hold of Novak. And he makes another. So it's a 7-point lead again for the Woodlands. They've had a couple of 14-point leads. Klein Collins was all the way back to tie at 28 before this last scoring drive from the Woodlands, which results in that Jamie Taylor touchdown again.
Yeah, it was a 9-play, 65-yard drive, exactly 2 minutes off the clock. And the Woodlands able to cash in just before the halftime break. They lead at 35-28.
Well, in the previous shot, you could even see the fans. They're pacing themselves, Ken. You don't want to get too excited. 5 touchdowns. That's a big first half. The band, everybody has to pace themselves in a game like this.
Yeah, you still got 25 seconds to go. So,
that's right.
Klein Collins, if they get a nice return here, I would expect a pooch kick to come up here from the Woodlands. But if you got good field position somewhere around the 35, 40-yard line, you may be able to make a couple of big pass plays. Maybe you put yourself in a position to take a shot at a Hail Mary.
The one thing we haven't pointed out tonight, it's a beautiful night for football November-wise, a little bit crisp and cool, but there's no wind, so that's not a factor tonight for either passing game.
Yeah, absolutely, and even for the special teams, that may be a factor late in the ball game as well. Absolutely gorgeous, perfect football conditions. Couldn't ask for a better night.
Garcia's going to kick off, and as we've seen most of the night, a lot of those high, short, blue kicks, and we will get another. Santos, boy, he's handled at least 3 of those and almost tackled immediately as he grabbed the football at about the 30 with 20 seconds to play here in our first half. So do you take a shot after all?
Absolutely, I would. You have 2 timeouts. Your offense has been moving the football. You might look for Trey Wright on another one of those wheel routes out of the backfield. Give your offense an opportunity.
Jordan Thomas is also in. He'll go to the short side, which is the right of the quarterback, Blake Jackson. And he'll send White in motion to that direction as well, and that'll be a keeper for Jackson. So a simple play as he's hit right at the line of scrimmage. We have not had a lead change tonight with 63 points scored. And maybe one more play here in the first half. A quick snap. I'm not sure what that was all about by Jackson.
Now that's a bit precarious.
Spike the ball with 6 seconds to play.
I mean, you still have 2 timeouts if you want to preserve. Right. I mean, you only have 1 play left now. I mean, you're going to take 2 timeouts to the locker room. So really didn't understand that sequence of play calls there.
Well, if you're going to run the first football into the line of scrimmage and have no gain, why not just let the clock run at that point?
Yeah, exactly. Right now, I just go ahead and take a knee. Maybe Jackson misread what the coaches were telling him.
I think he did.
I think we'll put it on the young quarterback other than the coaching staff.
Usually don't spike the ball to set up the kneel down, and that will do it here in our first half. So a busy first half. 5 touchdowns for the Woodlands, 4 for Klein Collins. And again, as Michael mentioned, no lead changes here tonight, despite the fact we have had 63 points scored in this first half. So Jay Darneal, our sideline reporter, is going to try and get us an interview here before the half and kind of give us a chance to catch our breath here after a very busy first half at Klein Memorial Stadium.
Here we go, now joined by Coach Mark Schmidt. Coach, over 400 yards in the first half, 35-28. Is this what you expected?
No, not really, but this is where we are, and both teams' offenses are really gelling and moving the ball, and probably the team that makes the best defensive adjustments at halftime may have the advantage second half.
Now, as far as your offense goes, Blaine Gillespie's running the ball really well with that shotgun option play with Patrick Carr. Are y'all blocking it differently? Why is that so wide open?
No, this is the stuff that we've done all year, and Blaine has done a great job of running the football, and that's shown up against Lufkin and against last week against Oak Ridge, and then tonight he's having a night running the football, and that's a great compliment to Patrick Carr. So we got to keep moving the football, putting points on the board, because it looks like it's going to be a shootout.
Thanks for the time, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Guys, back up to you.
All right, Jay, thank you for that. And Ken, I'm with him. The coach that makes the best defensive adjustments at the half is going to be in the best position in our second half.
Absolutely. And the Woodlands, they have a 7-point lead going into the break, so they'll have that advantage as we go to the halftime.
Nestled in the comfort of the Texas Gulf Coast, Deer Park, Texas continues to prove why the birthplace of Texas is on everyone's mind. Voted best affordable suburb by the Bloomberg Business Week, Deer Park is home to many businesses and continues to grow in population and industry. With its close proximity to the Houston Ship Channel, Deer Park is home to many industrial leaders like Dow and Shell. Voted in the top 10 most affordable places to live by CNN Money, Deer Park lures many new residents year-round. These residents enjoy the comforts of many retail outlets, recreational locations, and historic sites like the Battleship Texas and San Jacinto Monument. And with a recognized school district that boasts award-winning athletic, culinary, and journalism programs, Deer Park continues to gain the attention of people nationwide. Come see what everyone's talking about and make your next visit to Texas a rebirthing experience in the birthplace of Texas. Don't worry, boots and jeans are optional. Work, stay, play, explore. That's Deer Park, Texas. Uniquely you.
Woodlands High School is proud to present the award-winning Woodlands High School Marching Band and High Steppers. Tonight, the band will be performing Seven Nation Army. The band is under the field direction of head drum major Bridget Keene, assistant drum majors Taylor Rudder, Liz Costello, Brianna Moore, and Tegan White. Drum captain is Dawson Riggs, assistant drum captain Kevin Johnson. Pit captain is Kirk Luther and Addison Sharon. Color guard officers are Captain Alexa Del Pedre and Lieutenant Alexis Phillips. Featured twirlers are Catherine Potter and Lindsay McCormick. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2012 Woodlands High School Marching Band. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2012-2013 Woodlands High School High Steppers.
Lieutenant Taylor Berry, Lieutenant Chelsea Cooper, Lieutenant Allison Francis, Lieutenant Tykiera Kepler, and Major Kayla Hanson. The social officers are President Reagan Wilkowski, historians Alex Haupt and Caroline Williamson, Wardrobe Chairman Madison Flores and Hannah Gavargovitz. Tiger Bells of the Week are Lizette Martinez and Mackenzie Scopa. Spirit Bell of the Week is Cynthia Alvarez. The Bells would like to congratulate the Tigers on a great football season. Now sit back, relax while the Bells perform their jazz routine to Moves Like Jagger. Tiger Bells are under the direction of Stacy Vernon and Rebecca Carl. Great job, Bells. And now, continuing our halftime performance, we are proud to present the Klein Collins Tiger Band. The band is led on the field by drum majors Catherine Blackman, Jennifer Perea, and Maricela De La Cuesta. Tonight, the band gathers up their KC spirit as we cheer on our Tigers to victory with the NFL on Fox theme.
623 total offensive yards. Excuse me. The ball team is over 300 yards.
We continue with an old KC favorite to pump up the defense. I am the Tiger. The offense was striking, the defense was impenetrable, and it all ends with another KC victory. Great job, Dan.
I didn't write a dress code. Somebody else wrote the dress code.
Oh, we had this on in September.
As soon as I was ready, he could bitch on
that was it.
Whoever said that, they in the dressing room. Funny. Really? Yeah. How long do we know how to keep? How long? We're not going yet. I'm not going to enjoy it. How about? Yeah. You know, the last thing you can talk about, so I can hear something. No, I don't. Can you talk for 2 minutes?
Let's go for your question.
Gillespie this is not perfect football right here. It's really cold. I didn't like how
It's real cold.
I don't like it. I hated it.
It's worse directed to
I hated it when I played cold. I hate it when I hate it.
Brett Dolan and Ken Moore back here at halftime. 35-28, the Highlanders with the lead, and what an offensive explosion in our first half.
Over 600 yards of total offense, over 70 points on the board right now in this first half. Everything you thought it would be coming into this ball game, and we've seen it all in the first 24 minutes.
It seems like with the Woodlands, with their 5 touchdowns, the only team that's been able to stop them is themselves. That one pick is the only drive in which they've not been able to score.
Yeah, they've had the ball on 6 possessions here in the first half, scored on 5 of them, just had the one INT that led to 7 points. But in the second half, it's all going to be about defense. Which team can stop the other team? And the front 7 for Klein Collins, they're going to have to play much better.
You would imagine during this lengthy halftime that was the big topic of discussion. How can you stop the multiple weapons for the Highlanders? I know it's not easy, but what would you recommend?
Well, they're going to have to stop Gillespie, first and foremost. They've been using Patrick Carr pretty much as a decoy so far, and they haven't had anyone on Gillespie. They're going to have to stop him. The front 7 are going to have to pinch down harder. The defensive ends are going to have to get out wider to stop that option play. They're going to have to make a lot of adjustments to try to slow down this Highlander attack.
I think you're right about Gillespie. We talk so much about Carr, and that yards per carry average has been fantastic. His last month has been fantastic, but the quarterback himself, you got to stop the ball first, and they've not been able to do that.
Yeah, it's kind of like a point guard coming down on offense. You have to stop the ball. You don't stop the ball, it gets all the way to the hoop, and that's pretty much been the same analogy here in the first half. But on the other side, Klein Collins, they've been explosives offensively as well. They were stopped on their first 2 possessions. The last 4 possessions of the half, not counting where they took the victory formation, they scored 4 consecutive touchdowns. So could be a high-scoring affair. We might get up into the 60s and 70s for each team here tonight.
You might be right. Let's finish with that Klein Collins offense. You pointed out how they were really able to click after maybe starting somewhat slowly, but it seems like they're in rhythm too, and we were able to see that really throughout that second quarter.
Well, we saw a great combination of Blake Jackson and Trey White. White coming out of the backfield on a couple of big plays downfield. Jackson able to kind of pull some plays out of Gillespie's playbook, the quarterback keepers, the dive plays, and once they get down inside the 5, neither team has been able to stop the other.
Yeah, it's been fun. The first half, 35-28, the Highlanders with the lead here in this first round playoff action. We would imagine a lot more points to come here in our second half. Well, you see Klein Collins, they're ready to come back on the football field, just about ready for third quarter action here at Klein Memorial Stadium. You got to go through the inflatables, right, Ken, before you're able to officially start a game or a second half. You need the smoke. You got to run through the fangs.
Smoke and mirrors.
There's the
and
smoke.
There we go. And both of these teams now, it'll be interesting. When we started this game, you know, I'm real sensitive to the temperatures. It was 56 degrees at game time. Temperatures have dropped about 46 degrees. So it'll be interesting to see if these teams can come out with the same offensive firepower. They've been in the locker room getting all warm and toasty. And now they got to come back out. Temperatures kind of in the low 40s right now. So it'll be interesting to see. Turnovers could play a big factor in the second half. We had the one big turnover in the first half committed by the Woodlands that let Klein Collins get back into this ball game. So we'll see what happens here in the second half.
You talked about the total offense so far. The Woodlands, they've rushed for almost 200 yards. There's Klein Collins. They've rushed for 117. Through the air, well, Klein Collins 192 to just 138 for the Highlanders. First round's a big one, though. The Woodlands 15-11 for Klein Collins. A very little damage done with penalties so far today. You mentioned the one turnover and somewhat equal as far as time of possession.
Yeah, absolutely. And the big one, third down conversions. The Woodlands 5 of 5 on third downs. Klein Collins has to find a way to get off the field, and they're going to be on the field to begin this third period.
So the Highlanders talking things over before we're ready to start this second half and this third quarter. Again, the Woodlands, they have never lost to Klein Collins, 7-0 lifetime, and they lead 35-28 here at the break. So some final words of encouragement for the Tigers before we're able to kick this one off here in our third quarter.
And, of course, the winner of this ball game will take on Round Rock Westwood next week. That game will be in Floyd Casey Stadium in Waco. So they will await the winner of this one as the fans get all bundled up here, ready for another high-flying second half.
Yeah, the winner can get those buses ready to go up to Waco next week and really start to move into this postseason here in this first week. Some of the individual numbers, Gillespie, well, he's gone 6 of 7 through the air for those 138 yards. He had the touchdown and the one pick. He's also rushed for 110 yards. So you talked about him right there at the half, Ken. It seems like everything, it always usually does, starts and begins with that quarterback, but really the case with Gillespie.
He's been tremendous. He's a definite dual-threat quarterback. He's been tremendous through the air as well. And we're going to see him right out of the box here to begin this second half as the opening kickoff about to come.
Rhett Peterson will put the toe into it from the 40-yard line. 12 minutes up on the scoreboard clock for third quarter action, and the second half is underway, and it's an onside kick, and the football is loose. The Tigers should have it. How about that? The Tigers with the football, the onside kick executed to perfection. Eric Lacey was there to get it once it was bouncing around free on the turf.
Well, you know, we talked a little bit off air about the Woodlands getting the football first, already having a 7-point lead. If they would have got the football, driven it down, have a 2-score lead, it would have made for a very hard mountain to climb for Klein Collins. But now they pull a page out of the Saints playbook from the Super Bowl a few years ago. The onside kick to begin the second half. We'll see if they can convert.
Well, I was thinking the same thing. You look like a genius when that works. So Blake Jackson, he's actually not quarterbacking. It's Jordan Thomas who will start things with the Wildcat, and Thomas running right across midfield. He has the corner. He might have more. Down the sidelines. 20, 10, cuts back at the 5, tiptoeing, and finally out just shy. How about an onside kick to start things in a 52-yard run by Jordan Thomas on a Wildcat carry?
Wow. Well, you talk about some play designs and some adjustments at halftime. Klein Collins comes out of the box with the rabbit in hat and full toe.
Great block by Trey White right there.
And down the sideline he goes. They're going to spot him out at the 4.
Officials were late in marking him out of bounds. You'll see him tiptoe right there and step out, even though he just continued to go and finally was thrown out by Tyler Patrick. And there's a run right into the line, picking up a couple of yards down to around the 2-yard line. Nothing fancy there. Just a quick carry by Blake Jackson, so he's back in after Jordan Thomas started things here in our third quarter. So second and goal from the 2. So a chance to tie up this game again. Jackson will work with White to his right. Jackson will keep, but nothing there. In fact, he lost yards on the play. Wrapped up and thrown backwards. It looked like it was big number 77, Jonathan Hukins.
The Woodlands trying to come up with a big goal line stand. After that quick change of possession, defense really wasn't ready to go on the field. But now they've settled down. It's going to be 3rd and 5, and again, we may be in 4-down territory.
Big play, and Jordan Thomas back in with the Wildcats. So he'll take the football running left. He's got a block. He's got the corner. He's got the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers, a 5-yard run. And Jordan Thomas, his 4th rushing touchdown this season. How about that for an opening drive?
Well, they waited till the second half to unleash the Wildcat. And here comes Thomas around the left side. Gets a great cut block there by Trey White that sprints him into the end zone.
I tell you what, both times that Thomas ran that football, it was White with a great block to give him the corner. And the kick try is up and good from Peterson. So we're tied again, 35 apiece. Not even a minute and a half into our third quarter.
Wow. We're talking about some fireworks to begin the half. Onside kick, couple of Wildcat plays. My goodness.
Ken, how many points is it going to take to win this one tonight?
70. At this rate, can you imagine if it goes into overtime? Oh my goodness. Buckle up, folks. We have a good one going on out here at Klein Memorial.
Flag bearers will get their workouts in tonight, too, running back and forth after the score. So the Tigers executed that onside kick perfectly. Kickoff here. Again, that 5-play, 52-yard drive took just $1.20 and take it in by Thomas.
Well, that onside kick caught everyone by surprise, and it was an excellent call. Of course, it worked, so.
So Peterson will kick off, we think, into the Highlanders and give that high explosive Woodlands offense a chance to regain the lead again. There's the run up, and there's a hard kick that'll be taken at the 15-yard line. It is Tyler Patrick running to the near side, up across the 30, across the 35, and he'll be taken down at the 38-yard line by Casey Massey, a busy man defensively on both special teams and from his linebacking position. So Gillespie and company will have decent field position. Their first drive here in our second half. And again, they've scored on 5 of their 6 drives tonight. The only time they didn't is when Gillespie was picked by Farmer. And that's been it.
Yeah, both teams have been blessed with excellent field position. The only time the Woodlands didn't have good field position was on their first drive of the game. They probably took it 95 yards for a touchdown.
So Patrick Carr will hurdle a would-be tackler just to get across the 40 and then tackled forward by Isaiah Santos. 4th leading tackler on this team, but it's a gain of 4 for Patrick Carr on first down.
Of course, Patrick Carr about 74 yards in that first half as Gillespie was the main offensive weapon. As they contained Carr, didn't let him get outside for any big plays.
So to Gillespie to throw on second down. A wide open receiver. He hits his man again. That's Warren. He has the first down and much more as he's finally out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Santos there to get credit for the tackle, but another nice gainer for this Woodlands offense from their accurate quarterback, Blaine Gillespie. 16 yards on the play.
Yeah, just the inside slot receiver. Again, you look at that tremendous protection. Front line has to get some pressure on the quarterback. Wide open in the secondary. Santos coming up for the tackle once again.
We played just 2 minutes here in our third quarter. The Tigers have scored a touchdown, though Woodlands on the move. 7 straight completions for Gillespie. Getting back to that accurate quarterback, trying to make it 8. He will. Warren again on the receiving end, running right. 35 inside the 35 to the 32-yard line before Derek Thomas pushed him out of bounds. Pickup of 10 on the play.
And again, this Highlander offense just working at will against this Klein Collins defense. Tigers with no answers yet.
At what point does that become demoralizing or frustrating? Have we reached that point already, or is the fact that the offense has been so explosive, you feel like you're, of course, obviously right in this game?
You feel like you're one play away. If you can get a big sack, force a fumble, come up with another interception. So your defense has to stay mentally in tune into this ball game. The offense is helping them do that.
It'd be a great way to coach up those kids to just make a play, make a turnover, make a sack, a tackle for a loss. Previous play was good for a first down. Carr will run again. If he gets the corner, he'll be dangerous. To the 30, trying to cut back at the 25. Santos there to shove him out of bounds again. A nice carry of 9 yards for Patrick Carr. And hard to imagine, but that's below his season average carries, about 9.3 a rush this season.
And And again, Klein Collins doing a decent job containing him on the sideline, not letting him turn the corner for a big gain. But nevertheless, he picks up 9 yards, so it makes it 2nd and short.
Earlier this year, Coach Schmidt said Patrick might be the hardest working kid he has on his football team. And obviously this last month has been a big one for Carr. He picked up 9, so it's 2nd and 1. Warren is in the backfield. It's the jet sweep for Carr, nearly tackled for a loss. Now he's trying to get outside, and will have to finally run backwards for a loss, so he will lose maybe a yard on that play. So what was 2nd and 1 now could be 3rd and 2.
It could have been an even bigger loss if they make the tackle in the backfield. I believe coming up with error that
Christian
time.
Snow missed him. There's no demerits for that. He's going to make a few men miss. In fact, we've seen it several times tonight. Well, the Woodlands, Ken, the one area they have been so good, you pointed this out, 5 of 5 on 3rd down conversions.
The Tigers have to find a way to get a stop.
There is Carr just sprinting right through the line inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. Massey and Santos combined on the stop, but that's an easy pickup of 10 and another 1st down for the Woodlands.
Well, at this point, you may have to go the route of the Chicago Bears and start stripping at the football.
Punch that loose. 3 wide receivers for Gillespie to the far side of the football field, but it is Carr again running left, turning the corner at the 10, and finally wrapped up at about the 9-yard line. Boy, Santos, so busy, so good. Isaiah Santos, the free safety, who's kind of been the last line of defense against Patrick Carr and company.
Yeah, you see Chris Warren, the wide receiver, to that far side, trying to hold his block, allow Carr to turn the corner, and Patrick Carr is going to take a break right now. Checking in at tailback is going to be Garrett Harvey, the senior.
He's carried 20 times as Carr for 102 yards, so you see Garrett Harvey into the game. Harvey has not scored a touchdown this year, but with a head of steam, he'll change that. He's in. That's a touchdown for Harvey. Carr did the work. Harvey cleans up with a 9-yard score, and the Woodlands back in front again.
Well, Garrett Harvey, right place, right time. The big guy taking a handoff straight up the gut. Tremendous kick-out blocking by the left guard, the center, the left tackle, and he has an uncharted path into the end zone.
Head of steam, took it right on in, and now Alex Garcia from the hold of Novak will try and add the extra point. Kind of high snap, but the placement was made, and the kick is true and good. 8:46 to play in our 3rd quarter. The Woodlands back in front by 7. They lead 42-35 on the Legacy Sports Network.
Hello, I'm Gerald Burke.
And I'm Morgan Burke. I graduated from the Woodlands High School in 1998. I played football and I ran track there.
Morgan and I are lawyers. We office at 24 Waterway, Suite number 660 in the Woodlands.
I was a former prosecutor here in Montgomery County. Now I handle the criminal work at our office.
I've been practicing for more than 30 years. If you have a legal concern, contact us at 713-862-7766 or check us out at thehometownlawyer.com.
And as always, go Highlanders.
Yes, sir.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by First Victoria National Bank. First Victoria National Bank is the oldest independent bank in Texas. Visit one of their 5 locations in the Woodlands and Spring area and open a totally free checking account and receive a free gift.
Scoring drive, 7 plays, 62 yards. As the Woodlands march right back down the field. Garrett Harvey with the 14-yard touchdown. They lead it by 7.
Santos has had an opportunity on just about every kickoff. He made the first man miss, but he'll be wrapped up at the 32-yard line. And pretty good open field tackle was made in space by Jack Morris.
Now this may come down to whoever has the football last. As Klein Collins offensively with 5 touchdowns on their last 6 possessions. The only time they didn't score was right at the end of the half when they took a knee.
Only one touchdown drive for the Woodlands has been longer than 3 minutes, and that was 4:32. So they're a quick scoring offense, but now it's the Tigers back looking to execute another drive of their own. Pass comes in the near flat to Thomas. He's across the 40, and a little stiff arm action. We can put him up to the 42. So Jordan Thomas has been a busy man. We saw him on the Wildcat on that previous drive. A couple of big plays, including the touchdown run, and that time on the receiving end of a Blake Jackson pass.
Yeah, he'll pick up 9 on the reception. It'll be 2nd down and short. Good opportunity if Klein Collins wanted to do a little play action and go over the top. This will be a good time to try it.
Thomas will go to the far side. Green will be one of the wide receivers here to the near side. We'll see what Jackson wants to do on 2nd and short. Fake to the jet sweep to Goodson. And the pass goes right sideline for Trey White. White had a couple of big blocks earlier. This time holds in a pass to the 31-yard line where Gilstrap read him out of bounds. But a big gainer and a 1st down for the Tigers offense. A pickup of 27.
Yeah, again, Trey White just on the wheel route. You see at the top of the screen. He just runs right past the linebacker. That's about the 3rd or 4th time tonight they've been able to complete that pass play. 27-yard gain. Chains move for the Tigers.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 31 for Klein Collins. Quick pass right sideline. That's Goodson again. He got a little block inside the 30, and he stays on his feet until he gets to the 25-yard line. Finally, he was picked up and thrown backwards by number 84, T.C. Schneider. Pickup of 6.
That's almost like an extended handoff to Goodson. It's a simple little screen pass. Able to pick up some nice yardage on 1st down. For this Klein Collins offense, it's about trying to keep their defense on the sideline. They want to use as much of this clock as they can on this drive.
You see Trey White's numbers. 5 ball carriers for their offense have rushed for more than 300 yards this year. 6 have scored 4 or more touchdowns. So they get a lot of guys involved. We've seen a lot of guys involved, including Goodson again as he jumps out of bounds at the 25 after a short pickup. Maybe no pickup, in fact. Be 3rd and about 4 yards to play.
And again, you're looking at one of these 4-down situations for Klein Collins if they can't pick it up here on 3rd down. As the Highlander fans on the far side of the field, they come and rise as one to try to encourage their defense.
Tigers 3 of 7 on 3rd down. So a big one here. They'll go to the air, and the pass is knocked away. It was intended for Jordan Thomas, and it was number 84 again, Schneider, who was there almost immediately to make that knock away or bat down.
Yeah, great play by Schneider. He read the route. He knew they were going to go for the 1st down. He actually jumped the route, nearly had a pick 6. You see him jump right in front of the receiver and knock it away. So a big 4th down.
Woodlands getting some of their defensive players on late, and the officials may call a timeout, or will the Tigers call a timeout? No, the Woodlands will burn one. The key down here, Ken, and they had to run a lot of guys on late with some substitutions and decided they might as well burn the TO.
Yeah, good job that time on the far sideline by the Woodlands. They didn't have the correct personnel on for that 4th down play. Instead of getting burned for a possible touchdown, they decided to go ahead and burn a timeout. Did Coach Mark Schmidt. They want to make sure that they have the correct personnel on the field.
Well, the Tigers have converted on 1 4th down tonight. This is a big one here because you start thinking about how many more times you're going to get the football back.
Right, absolutely. And your defense has not been able to stop their offense. And again, as Coach Schmidt talked about, it's whichever defense can come up with a big play. Highlanders looking for a big one right now to preserve their 7-point lead. This is huge.
Well, the Tigers coming back on the field after that extended conversation and the timeout. 4th and 4 from the 25. Jackson with time. He'll throw. He'll complete. That ball is now dropped. It was right at the marker to begin with, intended for Green. I thought he had it. I'm not sure he was going to have the 1st down, but he just never brought it into his guts.
Well, let's take a look at it here. Green in the slot to the left. And you'll see the throw. He had him. He was close to the 1st down, but he never had possession of the football.
Never had it. Well, it's a big stand for the Highlanders.
Yeah, turnover on downs. Now the pressure falls to the navy blue jerseys on the right side of your screen, the Klein Collins defense, they have to come up with a stop at some point in the second half.
Boy, they had all the momentum after that onside kick and that quick score, but the Woodlands got their touchdown, and now the Highlanders held in that turnover on downs, and the football will be at the 25, 1st and 10, and Carr won't carry. It's Gillespie running left. A little zone read play. He runs across the 35 up to about the 39-yard line, knocked down by a combination of Lacey and Santos. And two guys we've been talking about a lot tonight, Ken, after that gain of 14. And when you're talking about your corners and safeties, that usually means you're going to be picking up 10, 14 yards.
Yep, absolutely. As you see, the zone read coming up again. Again, they use Carrs, the D card. Gillespie makes a great move on the outside, cuts it up, picks up 13 on the first.
Boy, he does a great job of that, though, doesn't he? Making that decision so late.
Excellent.
Right now, just put it into the gut of Carr, sprinting up the middle, able to shake a tackle at the 38, bounces outside of midfield, down the left sidelines until he's pushed out at the 40-yard line. Santos again had to take the angle to get him out of bounds, but it looked like Carr was wrapped up early. Instead, he picks up 22.
How many times have we seen Patrick Carr just bounce off defenders tonight? He does it once again, takes a little 2 steps backwards, runs through 3 defenders. That's just ridiculous. And then he breaks another tackle going to the outside.
We'll check up on his numbers for this game here in a moment. Right now it's 1st and 10 from the 41. Highlanders on the move in Klein Collins territory.
So Klein Collins in position to make tackles. They just haven't wrapped up.
Gillespie just throws Patrick Carr to his left, and now he'll throw right. And the pass is complete to Brown. He's inside the 35, moving the pile to maybe the 34. Winchester and Parsons doubled up on that stop for the Tigers defense, but not before 7 yards were gained.
Yeah, Houston Brown, he's been a little quiet tonight, but they haven't needed him much as the running game has been spectacular for the Highlanders so far.
Not quite halfway through our third quarter. The Woodlands lead by 7 on the march again, facing a 2nd and 4 in Klein Collins territory. There's Patrick Carr trying to get outside of the 30, running out of real estate, and he'll finally go out of bounds at about the 29. Winchester again there on the stop, but that'll be a 1st down pickup again. That's 16 first downs, I believe, if not many more for the Woodlands. In fact, 21. I beg your pardon. 21.
When you were talking about demoralizing on that last drive, this is where it can get demoralizing for this Klein Collins defense. If the Woodlands punch it down their throat and get into the end zone once again, you may see a real frustrated defense.
Boy, Carr may break one here to the 15 of the 10. Doesn't get tackled at the 10, so he continues to the 5, and Santos continues to be the last line of defense, number 10 there in your screen from Klein Collins. Another big pickup, 13 yards for Patrick Carr.
Yeah, more missed tackles on the outside. You see one whiff there by number 46 as he couldn't make the tackle, and then Santos finally makes the tackle himself. That's Isaiah Bird who missed the initial tackle that could have stopped him for a short gain.
So 24 on the pickup. It'll be a 1st and goal from the 6. Handoff goes right up the middle, nearing the goal line and down at about the 1-yard line.
Yeah, it's Garrett Harvey once again as he comes in to give Carr a blow, and now he'll check back out and they'll bring in their goal line offense now.
Yeah, Harvey scored his first touchdown on the previous drive. He was about a yard shy of getting another, but 2nd and goal from the 1. Just now we've gone inside, 6 minutes to play here in our third quarter. The Woodlands leading by 7 and a chance to make this a 14-point lead again, which is where they've been on a few occasions tonight. But Jamie Taylor, he scored earlier, waits for a hole to develop, and he could just walk right in. Touchdown, Woodlands again, his 3rd score. And the Woodlands, right now, they just can't be stopped.
That's just too easy. I mean, you see the big tackle.
Look at that hole.
I mean, you know, he's 77, doesn't even have anyone to block. Jonathan Huckins like, hey, give me somebody to hit. I need somebody to hit. Plow down. But Taylor in for his 3rd score of the evening.
Boy, Garcia's been a busy man from his kickoffs and extra points. He'll try again from the hold of Novak. The Woodlands pursuing their 49th point of the game, and they will indeed convert. 49-35, the Woodlands lead Third quarter action here in the first round of our playoff game on the Legacy Sports Network.
Aaron Rodgers.
That State Farm agent said she helps people. What do you do?
I play football.
That's not a job.
Well,
Did you save my dad hundreds with the discount double check?
no, but I was MVP last year.
Mr. Hubble says trophies are for people with self-esteem issues.
Who's Mr. Hubble?
That's Rod Hubble.
No, it is not. For savings, we're best in class.
Hey, Roger! Discount double check!
Get to a better state. State Farm.
Tonight's playoff game is brought to you by Fabenco, the Safety Gate Company, and in part by Michael J. Morris DDS. Comfort, quality, and confidence. That's Michael J. Morris DDS in Spring. Visit him on the web at michaelmorrisdds.com. Gerald and Morgan Burke, your hometown lawyers. And by Lodge Lumber, quality forestry products.
7 plays, 75-yard drive, took a minute 55 off the clock. 1-yard touchdown run. Jamie Taylor, his third of the night. The Woodlands in control. They lead it 49-35.
Boy, Santos does it all. He makes all kinds of tackles. That about the 5th time he's returned a pooch kickoff, but tackled immediately. Very little room to run. Preston Weagle was there to wrap him up, number 20.
Yeah, Weagle with a big hit. Looked like Santos may have had some operating room if he could have got to the far sideline, but he couldn't. And so now Klein Collins with a big hill to climb, trailing by 14. 5:43 to go. Still plenty of time, but their offense is going to have to get back on track. And their defense is going to have to look for a miracle over here on the near sideline.
I think I know the answer to this, but on a level of 1 to 10, how important is it for the Tigers to answer and score points down 14?
11.5.
That's what I thought you were going to say. That's why Jordan Thomas in there for the Wildcat, but unlike his previous tries, very little running room as he purged the right side of the line for maybe a couple of yards right at the 30-yard line.
Well, you don't want to get out of what you've been successful doing offensively. You don't have to change a thing. They stopped you on the last drive. That's okay. You keep looking for Trey White on those wheel routes out of the backfield. Let your quarterback, Blaine Jackson, run the football. He's been doing that successfully. Don't get outside of yourself.
Jackson back in the game, but a quick pitch to White, running left. Gets a good block at the 30, cuts back at the 40, and finally thrown down by Colby Brown, the corner. But he was locked up and engaged, and that gave White the big pickup of 13 yards and the Tigers first down.
Yeah, it's one of the few times we've seen the quick pick option, and you see the big fullback in front coming out leading the block, and that's going to be Brandon Edmonds. Got a good kick out block, allowed Trey White to get across the 40 for a first down.
Yeah, real good block by the fullback. So the Tigers nearing midfield, inside 5 minutes now here in our third quarter. They're down 2 scores, so they'll run the same play, but this time it'll be Jackson keeping. And you see all the white shirts surrounding him, very little running room whatsoever.
Yeah, Clayton Lau, one of the first defenders to get there on the stop. Also his buddy Kenny Furchess there as well.
So it'll be 2nd and 9 for the Tigers. They're at the 44-yard line. Again, the Tigers, the runner-up in 13-5A to Spring Westfield. They finished 8-2, 6-2 in district play. Put a lot of points on the scoreboard, but they're down 14, adding to the importance of getting points on this drive. There's a little bubble screen to Jordan Thomas, and he gains a couple of yards before Cole Little, the linebacker, wrapped him up at about the 46-yard line, so call it just a gain of 2.
Brett, that was an excellent open field tackle by Little. If Little doesn't make that stop, Jackson is still running. Or Thomas is still running.
Yeah, it had that look, didn't it?
It did. Looked like it was wide open.
So it's 3rd and 7. Boy, this play becomes so important that I think the Tigers want to call a timeout. They will discuss things with 3:43 to play here in our third quarter. 49-35, the Woodlands with the lead. And we talked to you, gave it the 11 on a scale of 1 to 10 of importance, and that's why you burn a timeout to make sure you have the right play called, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah. And again, you're in a 2-down, 4-down situation here, so you got 2 chances to pick up 7 yards. So you want to at least make sure you pick up a positive play here, at least get 4 or 5 yards in case you don't make the first down. but it's imperative that Klein Collins keep possession of this football. They cannot afford to give it back to the Woodlands.
There's some people probably watching right now or listening that would say, why are you going to go for it on your side of the field in the third quarter? But you start to do the math. And even though the Woodlands scores quickly, you may only have the football 2 or 3 more times over the course of this game. You're already down 2 scores, and you're not confident that you could hold them from scoring again.
Exactly. It's a situation where your lack of defense is dictating what your offense has to do in this ballgame. Your offense cannot afford to not get another score.
So after the timeout, again, it's 3rd and 7. Jackson working from the gun. See if he goes to the air. He'll look to throw. The rush is on. The pass was knocked backwards. Should be incomplete. It was Hermson, Josh Hermson, who got up to swat it away. The Woodlands were chasing that as if it was a fumble. And Klein Collins, their sideline, waiting for the incomplete pass to be called, but you see the pressure here on the replay.
Well, Hermson doing his best J.J. Watt impersonation as he goes up high to knock that one back. And now it's going to be a 4th down situation for Klein Collins.
Yeah.
They have the punt unit on, but I tell you what, I'd be rolling the dice and going for it right now.
Well, maybe no gain on 3rd down was the key play. Joe Shreve will punt. Tyler Patrick stands back at his 20, hoping to return. So no pickup on 3rd down. The 4th and 7 situation looks, at least for the time being, as a punt.
You better be prepared for anything if you're the Highlanders.
The punt is away, and Patrick may have a chance to return. Instead, he'll call a fair catch at about his 18-yard line, and that's where the Highlanders will begin, leading by 14.
Well,
36 yards on the punt.
Yeah, trailing about 14 punts now. 14 points. 14 punts. 14 points.
We could be here for 3 days and we wouldn't see 14 punts.
You talk about a huge defensive possession. This is about as big as it gets. As you see the Highlander fans on the far side, they're fired up as they smell blood.
Well, they're big beef eaters on their offensive line leading that charge out. The blocking has been fantastic tonight from the Woodlands. This is probably about their worst field position, though, tonight, beginning from their 18 with their quarterback, Gillespie. And his immediate give goes right to Carr, and there's nothing there. There's an open field tackle by Eric Parsons that'll begin this defensive stop, or so the Tigers would hope.
Yeah, outside of that first drive where they began at their own 5-yard line, this is the worst field position they've had all game. And that first drive, they went 95 yards. So
yeah, it didn't slow them down much.
Asking them to go 82 may not be that big of a challenge.
It's a loss of 2 on the play. The jet sweep is faked, and Gillespie himself will keep it. He'll run left across the 25 to the 30, and he'll finally just step it of bounds at about the 36-yard line. He picked up 19 yards on the play. So nothing fancy there from Gillespie, but boy, Kenny's done that a handful of times tonight. Just fake that handoff to Carr and pick the right hole to pursue.
And it's just over pursuit on the backside by the Klein Collins defense. They are not staying at home on the backside. That outside linebacker, the defensive lineman on that right side, they have to stay at home.
That's 173 yards rushing for Blaine Gillespie. Now, this season he came in just a little bit shy of 600. He's nearing 200 today. And speaking of big yardage and gainers, there's Patrick Carr racing across the 40, up around the 46-yard line. He should have another first down for the Highlanders.
I'll tell you what, the Round Rock Westwood coaches, they're going to have cold sweats looking at the film of this ball game, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
You could rewind that DVD all you want. It doesn't make it any easier to identify what you might want to do. Now, we still have 2:20 to play here in this third quarter, but the Highlanders lead by 14. They're on the march again, no longer deep in their own territory. Carr moving into Klein Collins territory. In fact, he's wrapped up at about the 45-yard line. It was a pickup of 8 on the play. The tackle was finally made by Newton, but another second and short upcoming for the Woodlands.
Yeah, and they're breaking them off in big chunks right now. 18-yard run, 11-yard run, 8-yard run.
And Carr tonight, he's carried 24 times. He's up to $141, so he's on his way, if not already, to another big game for the sophomore. 5'9", 180 pounds, but lightning quick. And he'll carry again. right up the seam inside the 40 and diving forward to the 36-yard line. He was wrapped up and finally thrown down by Winchester, but not before he gained 9 more yards.
Interesting. If you look at it, how he runs, he'll take about a step and a half backwards and then kind of get a running start. Very interesting the way he attacks the line.
I saw that from Harvey as well on that touchdown run he had earlier. He takes that step back, and when he hits that line of scrimmage, I mean, he is at full speed, if not top notch. So it's 1st and 10 from the 36. They might just run out this third quarter. There is Harvey, head of steam, inside the 25, finally tripped up at around the 23-yard line by Winchester again, but a big gainer for Garrett Harvey. Picked up a baker's dozen, 13 more yards.
And that's just straight power football right there. You see the guard, big 78, coming around, laying a block. Hermson. You see the running wide receiver Warren downfield helping out as well. It's a total team effort right now for the Woodlands as they're putting it on this Klein Collins defense.
So nearing the red zone again, they'll be at the 23 with a 1st and 10. They'll snap it with a minute to go here in the quarter. It's Gillespie running left on that zone read, tiptoeing out of bounds again after another pickup in excess of 10 yards. Thomas was finally there to get him for a stop, but he will pick up 11 on the play.
Gillespie running the offense like a maestro right now as he's conducting this offense to perfection.
I don't believe we've had a 21-point lead in this game, and that's what the Highlanders are trying to do. 49 points already, a chance to score again here before we flip sides in the fourth quarter. Gillespie will take and give to Carr. Big hole running left, just one man there to wrap him up, but he did so. Winchester got him, but he was tackled at the 5, maybe just inside the 5. He gained another 7 yards, and Ken, that's a small gain compared to some of the previous ones on this drive.
Yeah, absolutely, and we go under a minute to go here in the quarter, maybe one more snap before we switch ends if they don't get into the end zone on this second down play.
Now Taylor is back in, replacing Gillespie.
This drive started all the way back at the 18-yard line.
Well, Taylor's had 3 rushing touchdowns tonight. See if he will carry here on 2nd and 3. That'll probably be the case. He does, and he makes the first man miss. He's tackled inside the 5 to around the 3-yard line. He was able to kind of squirm away from the first tackle attempt. Newton was there. But that'll run out the clock here in our third quarter, so we'll take a quick break, catch our breath, flip sides. The Woodlands leading by 14, trying to add to the lead. Network.
My time is valuable. I can't afford to wait an hour for an average car wash. That's why I'm sold on Bubbles. The folks at Bubbles know customer service. They're courteous and professional, and no one has ever done a better job at hand washing my car. If your time is valuable, you'll love Bubbles.
My kids go everywhere with me, so I won't go anywhere that's not spotless. So when my SUV needs a wash, you'll find me at Bubbles. Not only does Bubbles keep my car looking good, they're committed to making me as comfortable as possible. And that means keeping their lobby as clean as my car.
Up next for Career Day, quarterback Aaron Rodgers.
That State Farm agent said she helps people. What do you do?
I play football.
That's not a job.
Well,
Did you save my dad hundreds with the discount double check?
no, but I was MVP last year.
Mr. Hubble says trophies are for people with self-esteem issues.
Who's Mr. Hubble?
That's Rod Hubble.
No, it is not. For savings, we're best in class.
Hey, Roger! This got double checked!
Get to a better state. State Farm.
Back here at Klein Memorial Stadium, the Woodlands trying to add to their 14-point lead. They are perfect today on third down conversions, Ken, 6 for 6, and this is a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, 10th play of this drive coming up.
Taylor will give to McKenna, running right, gets to the 5, trying to dive for the end zone. He's in. Touchdown, Woodlands. It looked like the Tigers had him for a loss, but he scores again. 55 points on the board for the Highlanders.
Well, it didn't look like he had any chance of getting into the end zone on this play. But McKenna showing some great speed, great athleticism. And again, Winchester coming up empty on the tackle allows them to get in for another 6.
McKenna had 1 rush on the season. Now it was for 2 yards and a touchdown. He adds to that total. Garcia will try and knock another point right through the uprights. So on the first play in the fourth quarter, the Highlanders get another touchdown. The PAT is good. We're just 6 seconds into this fourth quarter now. 56-35, the Woodlands with the lead. And their band, well, they've been as busy as some of their ball carriers tonight, playing the fight song after their scores.
Well, luckily for them, they don't have to do push-ups after every point. 10-play, 82-yard drive, took 3:39 off the clock, all on the ground, not one pass play.
That's about as time-consuming as it'll come on tonight's scale or scope. So a 56-35 lead for the Woodlands. And the Tigers will get the football back, but their margin for error now has become very small.
Yeah, you're looking at a situation now where you have to score quickly, and you're almost forced to go to onside kicks, even if you do score quickly.
Yeah, and they've already done that tonight. It's hard to.
The element of surprise is gone.
Well, Gillespie and Carr, quarterback and running back combination for the Woodlands, they have combined for 341 yards.
That is unbelievable, and that's a huge credit to their offensive line. Those guys up front have done a tremendous job tonight, opening up gaping holes for the running back, for the quarterback. Just tremendous effort. You talk about that offensive front for the Woodlands.
Another pooch kick, taking it around the 30-yard line, and on the carry it'll be Farmer. Had a pick earlier. He picked Gillespie, and this time he'll return the kickoff across the 40-yard line. He's taken down by McKinney at the 43. So a nice return from Farmer. A shifty move on that initial tackle attempt.
Score some folks may be interested in. A&M consolidated with a 28-21 lead over Klein. So Klein Collins, they'll begin this possession at their own 43-yard line. Woodlands now, they may loosen up a little bit defensively. They don't want to give up any big plays over the top.
And the handoff goes to Goodson running right. He's up and around the 49-yard line. Now he's running behind a right line of Tyler Tizinko and Chance Allen. Now Tizino, he's on his way to West Virginia. He's on a scholarship, chose them over LSU. Chance Allen, well, he's heading to Kansas State, so that's a potent right side of the line. And they had 6 yards on the play before Gilstrap made the play.
Not bad on that big right side, will you?
May run right again. No, it's a fake, and Jackson to throw. He's got an man open. That's Thomas inside the 10, dragged down at the 2. Jordan Thomas was wrapped up by Colby Brown, but a big gainer of 49 yards, and that's exactly what the Tigers offense needed.
Well, and that's something that if you're the Woodlands, you absolutely cannot give up. Colby Brown gets beat on this pass play. He falls for the play action fake. You're in the secondary. You got a 21-point lead. You cannot get beat over the top.
Well, you saw Thomas bobbling that ball, but he was able to collect and take it in to inside the 5-yard line. Now it's Goodson on the pitch running right. He'll be wrapped up and thrown down in the backfield. Colby Brown tried to make up. Got that tackle for a loss of a couple of yards on the play.
Yeah, we've seen Colby Brown with a couple of big hits, but he got burned badly on that previous play, but he drops Goodson for a 3-yard loss.
So Jordan Thomas, he's been busy tonight. 5 receptions, just under 100 yards, 97 tonight. He will be to the near side of the football field and see if Jackson might go his way. Little flip to Goodson running right. Little spin, made a man miss at the 10. Cutting back, and he'll get to the 5 for all that. He finishes where he started in a very busy play, and Gilstrap kept him from getting anything anymore.
Yeah, Collins trying to get a little cute on that play. Woodlands was ready for it, so now you're facing a 3rd and goal. After you had 1st and goal at the 2, now you have 3rd and goal back at the 6.
This is not what the Tigers wanted. They have to find a way to get this in the end zone, down 21. See what Blake Jackson wants to do. Goodson will get a handoff faked in this direction. The throw is batted in the air. It's incomplete, intended for Thomas. It went through the end zone.
He had a linebacker dropping back into coverage that time. As you see the little play fake inside the flare, tried the little slant route, and there's 3 Highlander defenders in the end zone and knocked that one away.
It was Tyler Patrick who got his hands up. So there's no doubt you have to go for it here, but 4th and goal from the 6. After the Tigers have gone in reverse gear on this drive. The throw goes into the end zone. It is caught. That's a touchdown for Cameron Green. His 2nd score of the season. A 4th down touchdown from Jackson to Green.
Well, that's a huge catch that time. Big time throw. As Jackson had some pressure. He puts a zip on that pass to get it past Tyler Patrick, who was on the coverage, had good coverage as well, but a better throw and a better catch as Green makes the reception for the 6.
Boy, he threaded the needle. The kick, as they've all been tonight, perfect. Ryan Lester adds that one. So it's back to a 2-score game, 56-42 Highlanders. We're going to catch our breath. 9:51 to play on the Legacy Sports Network.
Hello, I'm Gerald Burke.
And I'm Morgan Burke. I graduated from the Woodlands High School in 1998. I played football and I ran track there.
Morgan and I are lawyers. We office at 24 Waterway, suite number 660 in the Woodlands.
I was a former prosecutor here in Montgomery County. Now I handle the criminal work at our office.
I've been practicing for more than 30 years. If you have a legal concern, contact us at 713-862-7766 or check us out at thehometownlawyer.com.
And as always, go Highlanders!
Yes, sir.
Well, tonight's game is brought to you in part by Victoria National Bank. First Victoria National Bank is the oldest independent bank in Texas. Visit one of their 5 locations in the Woodlands and Spring area and open a totally free checking account and receive a free gift.
6-play, 57-yard drive. The capper, 6-yard touchdown pass from Jackson to Cameron Green. Klein Collins trying to hang around. They trail it by 14.
They're not going away, that's for sure.
So now the Highlanders prepared for an onside kick. Only man deep is Tyler Patrick as he stands around the 25-yard line.
So Rhett Peterson will not even tee that football up. He has it kind of nestled in front of that tee, almost laying horizontal on the ground, and short drop for Peterson. See if they can execute this again. Everybody in the building knows it's coming. There's the boot, and it's fielded cleanly by the Woodlands with McKenna. Well, he's been busy on offense and showed some good hands there on special teams, and, well, that's where the Woodlands will begin. Good field position right around midfield.
Now it's up to Klein Collins. Their defense has to find a way to make a play. Still nearly 10 minutes to go in this ball game, so they're not out of it by any means, but they're going to have to find some type of way to slow down Gillespie and Carr.
Have to think turnover. I'm with you. Whether you got to punch that ball loose, gang tackle, first man engages, second man goes for the football. But Gillespie and Carr, a big drive from that duo would put them over 400 combined yards in this game. And immediately it's Carr. And he's wrapped up. Good tackle in the open field by Isaiah Bird. We've called his name now for the first time. No gain on that play.
Yeah, Bird, that left defensive end, makes a big-time play. The senior goes 6'4", 245. It's going to be a no gain, so it'll be 2nd down 10.
But the clock continues to run. The Woodlands, normally so efficient and quick-paced, will slow down just a bit now with this lead, and Carr will run to the right. He's into Tigers territory, and even after the contact, he goes from the 45 to the 40 on a dive, almost hydroplaning, picks up 10.
Again, the outside linebacker, Derek Thomas, got pushed all the way to the sideline on that play. That's what allowed Carr to turn it upfield and pick up the first down.
Gary Bryce made the tackle, but not before the big gain from Carr, which brings his totals on this game to 28 carries, 167 yards. Maybe the only surprise, Ken, he hasn't scored a touchdown. He's done a lot of the work, and he's let his teammates get some of the glory.
Total unselfishness.
So it's Carr again, and he was able to shed the first tackle and keep on his feet. Makes another man miss. He's inside the 20 and dragging tacklers to the 18-yard line. That could have been a pickup of maybe a yard or two, and Carr refused to go down. McClinton missed the tackle. I think Winchester finally got him.
Yeah. You'll see McClinton. He'll miss the first tackle right there in the backfield. That's terrible. And then you'll see Jeremy Winchester missed another tackle.
Well, his teammates here, watch this. Even after the first contact was made at the 25, he went all the way down to the 17-yard line.
Yeah, Gary Bryce said, well, I'm just going to ride him down.
So the Woodlands in the red zone again. There's Carr. Remember, he doesn't have a score yet tonight, even though he's nearing 200 yards. He'll be pinballing between tacklers to the 12. And we'll be inside 8 minutes before the Woodlands snaps again, leading by 14 on the move here in the fourth quarter, looking to advance and play in Waco next weekend.
When Klein Collins goes back and look at the defensive film of this, they'll see that on a lot of these plays, they were actually in position to make the stop. Just bad tackling or better running if you're Patrick Carr.
Carr's out. Now it's Garrett Harvey who's in, working with Gillespie. So even Carr needs a rest from time to time. And football is at the 13-yard line. About 7.5 to play. Gillespie will keep, and a very little running room whatsoever. He was stuck up near the line of scrimmage and was able to fight forward for a few yards, but that was it. It looks like the tackle was made by Casey Massey. Well, he's been one of the busier tacklers on this Tigers defense tonight.
A big third down coming up as we approach the 7-minute mark, 3rd down and 6. So Klein Collins with an opportunity here to make a stop. Woodlands will let the play clock go down as far as they can. They set up with 10 on the play clock.
Highlanders have 30 first downs tonight. They're perfect on 3rd down conversion, 7 of 7.
Whoa.
Nearly blown up in the backfield, but Gillespie will have to just purge forward after that bobble. He gets back near the line of scrimmage. So the first time tonight they are denied, and it took that wild snap in which to keep them from moving the sticks again.
Now we'll see if they'll bring in the field goal unit to try to make it a 3-possession game once again. They may let the clock run down. Coach Schmidt's going to go ahead and send on the field goal team.
Boy, I love that replay. Gillespie, what a vertical leap just to get up in one hand, tip that ball to himself. Looks like Alex Garcia will try the field goal, which will come from 29 yards. From the far hash. From the hold of Novak, the kick is up, and it is good. So it's now a 3-score game for the Highlanders. They lead at 59-42.
That's a big 3 points. The Klein Collins defense finally holds, but not before the Woodlands gets into field goal range, and they're able to punch it through from 29 yards out.
So 6 minutes, 4 seconds to play in this one. The Woodlands point away from 60. You said it was going to take 70 to win today, and they're on their way towards a huge night if they haven't reached that point already.
Yeah, Klein Collins, their offense fizzled somewhat in that 3rd period. Had a couple of possessions where they didn't score, and that allowed the Woodlands to take advantage.
I mean, their offense, the Tigers' offense has been pretty good, but when you have to be perfect, that's tough.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So now, trailing by 17, 6 minutes to go. And again, we've seen stranger things happen in the high school playoffs. A lot of the fans still sticking around.
Alex White to kick off for the Woodlands. The kick is sailing in the direction of Farmer, so for the second time he'll have a chance to return a kick. He's going backwards, and he's tackled inside his 20. Real nice open field tackle was made by Phoenix Jones, junior linebacker.
Yeah, East and West, probably not the best way to go against this Highlander special teams unit. So that'll put Klein Collins back at the 20-yard line. It's where they'll scrimmage, 1st and 10. Exactly 6 minutes to go in this one. Opening round action. Class 5A, Division I, Region 2, 2012 state playoffs. Kicking off this weekend.
See Jackson getting his instructions before he comes back on the field and instructs his teammates. The football is actually marked at the 20, so they gave them somewhat of forward progress, but they'll have to go 80 yards to get back in this game, now down 17. And Jackson's going to go to the air. He had a pump fake. It'll pull the ball down, trying to run, wrapped up and thrown backwards, and sacked by Tanner Birdsong, the linebacker. He lost 6 on the play, and that's not exactly what the Tigers offense wanted.
Well, he wanted to go up top, but great coverage in the secondary by Tyler Patrick and Kobe Brown. Brown says he wasn't going to get beat again. Good protection initially, but Jackson had no receivers open in the secondary.
So it's 2nd and 16. A short pass completed, but nothing after the catch. Ryan Kozar, second grab tonight. So now 3rd and long for the Tigers offense.
Again, this situation, you might look for Trey White coming out of the backfield. He's been relatively quiet here in the second half. He's lined up to the right of Jackson.
We'll call it 3rd and 11. Pump fake, and there is Thomas on the ball just out of his reach. It landed near midfield. Thomas had beaten his man on the double move, but pass was incomplete.
Yeah, and they got away with a hold. The Highlanders did over here on the left sideline. The coaching staff is screaming.
So now the Tigers 0 of 4 in their last 3rd down conversions. Will have to go for it on 4th and 11, knowing that they're down 17 and we're inside 5 minutes to play. And I think they might burn another timeout and talk things over before this 4th down try. And 59-42, the Woodlands lead right here on the Legacy Sports Network.
Career day, quarterback Aaron Rodgers.
That State Farm agent said she helps people. What do you do?
I play football.
That's not a job.
Well,
Did you save my dad hundreds with the discount double check?
no, but I was MVP last year.
Mr. Hubble says trophies are for people with self-esteem issues.
Who's Mr. Hubble?
That's Rod Hubble.
No, it is not. For savings, we're best in class.
Hey, Roger! Discount double check!
Get to a better state. State Farm.
Tonight's playoff game is brought to you by Fabenco, the safety gate company, and in part by Michael J. Morris DDS. Comfort, quality, and confidence. That's Michael J. Morris DDS in Spring. Visit him on the web at michaelmorrisdds.com. Gerald and Morgan Burke, your hometown lawyers. And by Lodge Lumber Quality Forestry Products. Klein Collins on 4th down went for it. They were 2 of 3 on 4th downs tonight, but not that time. And that'll turn things right back over to the Woodlands. You'll see the replay. Well, maybe not.
Yeah, it looks like it was a big sack on that play as they got Jackson in the backfield. So Klein Collins will turn it over on downs. The Woodlands will take over 1st and 10 at the Tiger 15-yard line. And with just under 5 minutes to go, Highlanders looking to put this one away.
Looking to break the 60-point mark. Coming off a game last week, they had 53. The week before, 42. There's the give to Harvey right through the seam across the 10 to the 7-yard line. And Ken, we mentioned it in the open. 198 points in the last 4 games, and that'll look like nothing compared to what they're doing tonight.
Yeah, you put that on top of what they're putting up here tonight. Pinball machine going over down at the Woodlands, and they finally got their offense healthy. Got players in position where they want them to be. They're just clicking on all cylinders right now. That big offensive front is dominating, opening up huge holes for Gillespie and Carr and whoever else is in the backfield, Harvey, whatnot.
Harvey had 7 on the previous play. He'll run again inside the 5, trying to stay on his feet. He's smothered at about the 2-yard line. Christian Snow covered him up. Otherwise, he was going to go in again for another score.
Right now, it's just kind of pick your poison.
With a big number, talk about what the Highlanders have been able to do tonight. 411 rushing yards, and they're 3 yards away from adding to that total and adding more points up on that scoreboard.
You almost feel sorry for the Highlander receivers. They haven't had any action here in the second half.
See if Harvey might get a chance for another score. He'll carry the football, and he is right on in, diving for the end zone. That's a Woodlands touchdown. They've passed the 60-point plateau. Second of the day for Garrett Harvey, and for that matter, the second of the season for the backup running back.
Again, you see the offensive punch, and again, no one there until he gets into the end zone. Big block that time, big number 66, Cody Burkett, getting his name into the action here tonight with a big block, springing his tail back for another 6.
Speaking of 6, if Garcia makes this PAT, it'll be 66, and he does. 66 points for the Highlanders, and we have 3:41 to play.
And the Woodlands, this is a team that started off the season kind of shaky. They had a big blowout loss to Katy early in the season. But since then, they have been on point.
Yeah, they lost to Katy 63-10 back in September. It was the most points they ever allowed. It was the biggest margin of defeat. The following week, they played Mexico's national champion prep squad. They had a big loss, though, against College Station A&M Consolidated back in October. And that may be a turning point because they've had these 4 big games now, 5 big games since. And the question is, how far could they go? And the Highlanders' deepest postseason run was in 2003. That was Danny Amendola. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, better believe it. They lost to North Shore in the state title game 23-7. North Shore's quarterback was Bobby Reed.
Yep.
Insert your own Mike Gundy joke if you'd wish.
I'll abstain.
66-42. The Woodlands with the lead. The Tigers will get the football back. Farmer again at the 25, trying to come forward to the 30. Sheds a tackler, slips out of one at the 35. He's across the 40, still moving to about the 46. The football was kicked loose, but he was down, so pretty good return right there from Kevin Farmer. And the Tigers will have it.
And of course, for the Highlanders, they'll have another rematch next week against Round Rock Westwood. They knocked them off last year, and on their way to going deep into the state playoffs, they eventually lost to Dallas Skyline in the 4th round, but they opened up with wins over Klein, Collins, Round Rock, Westwood, and Mesquite. And it looks like they're going that same route again here in 2012.
Yeah, Skyline was a team that the Woodlands played in opening week. They lost to them 42-28, part of that very tough early season schedule that's maybe paying big dividends for them here in the last half of the year. Pass play, that ball's up for grabs, might be picked and will be picked. Intercepted by Schneider at the 31-yard line.
Well, Schneider has had a heck of a second half. He got beat for a touchdown in the second period of this ball game when he missed a tackle, but he's made some big plays here in the second half. Caps it off with an INT.
It's another sophomore. We talked about Patrick Carr, the talented sophomore, has been so busy on the ground. Well, Schneider another made that INT. So now the Woodlands could put this one in the deep freeze with 3:28 to play.
No pun intended as the temperatures continue to drop deep into the night. We'll have to request some blow heaters for the rest of these playoffs. These chilly temperatures continue out here in the Houston area.
A little cooler than normal. But the offenses, they've been red hot tonight.
They've been on fire.
They have indeed. The backup quarterback in the game. The give will go to Harvey right up the middle across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. Now, we may have to call in Jay here as a 96 in the game, but the problem is there's no number 96 on your roster.
Must have been someone they called up from the JV.
Well, doesn't have a quarterbacking number to say the least. inside 3 minutes. A pickup of 5 on the previous play from Harvey, who scored also the last touchdown for the Woodlands. Harvey will get it again. Nice spin move at the point of contact. He pushes the ball across the 40. He'll have the first down, continuing to drag tacklers across the 45, and he's out to the 46.
These Highlander running backs, they don't stop.
No, they don't. So right now the play clock just at 20, so the Woodlands can run a few more seconds even before they get up to the line of scrimmage to snap with a fresh set of downs. 2:30 to play in this opening round playoff matchup. And Harvey again, powering up near midfield. He's tackled right at the 50. Picked up 4 on that play.
So if you're Round Rock Westwood, you're trying to pick your own poison next week on who to stop. They have to find a way to stop the quarterback first, I do believe.
Yeah, Gillespie 2 rushing touchdowns, a passing TD. He's now taking this drive off. Handoff goes right up the middle, inside the 45 to the 42.
Yeah, that was Jeremy Harper getting his first carry of the ball game. Picks up a first down.
Does. So in addition to what Gillespie's done, Ken, Taylor's had 4 touchdowns. Harvey a couple of touchdowns. McKenna a touchdown. They've spread it out.
I wonder if I got time enough to go down and check in so I can give me a quick 6. Put me in, Coach.
Another ball carrier getting a chance to exhibit his wares. That's Marlon Brown, a senior running back, for a couple of yards off the right side of the line.
Yeah, Coach Schmidt doing a good job now shuffling in some of his seniors that don't get an opportunity to play. The junior Jeremy Harper back in the ball game now. Get these guys a little PT, a little playoff action. Good gesture by Coach Schmidt.
Get him in the box score.
Yes, sir.
2nd and 9. Looks like that's Harper again. Plowing forward, nothing fancy. Couple of yards right at the 40. Gain 2 more yards.
Getting some of these offensive linemen a blow as they get a chance to come in. Coming in now, Austin out of Marco. And here comes big 64 in, Drew Ho. So those guys getting an opportunity to play as well as we go inside of 40 seconds.
Woodlands will probably have to snap it just this one final time. So you're wrong, Ken. It didn't take 70 points to win tonight.
I was wrong. Unless they break one
here.
Well,
yeah. Maybe I spoke too soon, but that play is going backwards. And the run by Marlon Brown was backwards. And that will do it. We have 18 seconds to go, but the play clock will not even start yet. The football just now spotted, so the Highlanders will converge on the far sidelines and begin their celebration. And the final seconds will tick off the clock here at Klein Memorial Stadium. And there is our final gun. The Woodlands advance. They win it over the Klein Collins Tigers 66-42.
Yep, guys, now joined by Blaine Gillespie. Blaine, 66 points against an 8-2 ball club that plays solid defense. That's amazing. Talk about that little play that you ran with Patrick Carr. It was open every time, wasn't it?
That's all the offensive line and Pat, giving a good fake and driving down the field. That's all of them. I'm just doing my job.
Well, your job's a little bit more than that. You're a pretty good little quarterback yourself. Talk about just the leadership on this ball club, including yourself.
Well, I mean, with my team, they've kind of helped me get through all the difficulties and helped me learn through the season. So, again, it's all the team.
Congratulations, Blaine, moving on to the second round.
Thank you.
Guys, back up to you.
All right, thanks, Jay, and thanks to Blaine Gillespie. You see the handshakes line and some tired players after a 66-42 Woodlands win, and we'll be back here in Klein on the Legacy Sports Network. Dolan and Ken Moore back here at Klein Memorial Stadium, a 66-42 win for the Woodlands, and we talked about it at the beginning. We mentioned it again at the half, and in the second half, Ken, it was a point where this Woodlands offense tonight could not be stopped. Almost 600 yards total offense, extremely efficient and very powerful.
Well, we heard the quarterback in the postgame show talk about his offensive line. They opened up tremendous holes, really controlled the line of scrimmage. Klein Collins just had no answer for the offensive attack of the Highlanders here this evening.
And there were a couple of players we identified. We talked about Carr, we talked about Gillespie, but so many deep people contributed to this offensive explosion.
Oh, absolutely. You have to look at the entire offensive repertoire, the outside receivers, Houston Brown, those guys, they didn't get their names called a lot tonight, but they had some excellent downfield blocks. We talked a lot about the offensive line, and the defense came up with some stops in the second half. It was going to be about which defense could make some adjustments. Obviously, the Woodlands did in the second half.
Well, Klein Collins, they were down by 14 on a couple of occasions in the first half. They were able to come back and tie. They were down 7 at the break. They had the onside kick, the quick score in the third quarter. I didn't know if at the time that was going to change the momentum of this game, but it was a big play then. And even that, the Woodlands, they were able to overcome.
Yeah, absolutely. And you saw Klein Collins, they even came out with the Wildcat formation to begin the second half, had a couple of big runs downfield, got into the end zone, tied the ball game up. We thought we may have a barn burner going down the stretch, but the Woodlands just too good, just too big, just too fast.
Indeed. Well said. That's the way to finish things off here tonight. Special thanks to our entire crew here on the Legacy Sports Network. But for Jay Darneal and Ken Moore, I'm Brett Dolan. Thanks for tuning in. Again, our final. It was the Woodlands winning and advancing over Klein Collins 66-42. Good night, everyone.